But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. That's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 6 3 2 9 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Yo ho, yo ho. Welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. What's up, guys? I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Ash the Reptilian from Mars. And we'd like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What is going on? We're back. We're back. The election season can only delay us. I've got a theory on that. I'm going to tell you about that in just a little bit. I've got a theory. But after being silenced for the week before the election, oddly enough, the election ends, well, if it'll ever end, and they allow us back online. Figure that out. Figure that out. Coincidence? I think not. But anyway, if you find yourself here wondering what the hell is going on, well, this is a show where we talk about the things we're not allowed to talk about. This is a show where we talk about the possibility of aliens. We talk about conspiracy. We talk about the paranormal. We talk about the 24-hour news cycle and propaganda. We talk about the government. We talk about academia. We talk about literally how we live in the upside down. Everything makes zero sense in its full context, and somehow we're supposed to believe the opposite is true. The opposite is true. Anyway, that's what's up. So that's what the show's about. We're going to continue talking about all the things we love to talk about, and hopefully that you love to talk about as well. So a couple things real fast before we get going. What's up, Ash? How you doing, my man? How you doing tonight? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to post-election season, or mid shit show election season, whatever's going on.
Post-election, pre-Civil War.
Pre-Civil,
almost.
we changed the term.
Season 2 of 2020. I'm hoping brings that big finale, right? So that's that Civil War we're all looking for, and this is a perfect recipe for it. So get your guns and ammo and your food and stock up. And you haven't seen nothing yet.
Just to clarify, get your guns and ammo, but don't shoot anybody. That's not what we're trying to say here.
No, don't shoot them.
Don't shoot anybody. All right. This is not a violent show. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm. For the censors out there,
we're not encouraging violence.
We got people listening to every word, Ash. We got the technocracy listens to every word. You can't be ambiguous when you talk about guns. Just okay. Just want to make sure.
Get your guns and your ammo, and then store them away safely and responsibly. That's it.
Go. That's it. There you go. There you go. See, now that we cleared that up, yeah. So pretty crazy times, huh? Crazy times. So we're back tonight. We're going to talk about aliens tonight. So if you've been listening to the show, you know that we did Tom DeLonge Part 1. And we're kind of taking the stance again that Tom DeLonge is right about everything, right about all the UFOs, right about aliens, right about everything. We're living in Tom's world tonight, and this is part 2 of that same show. So we're going to talk about aliens tonight. But before we get there, a couple more things to add on is that we're streaming live. Did I mention that? If you're listening on Friday night, somewhere in the election apocalypse or whatever the hell's actually going on right now, we're streaming live and you can join the show. We do this live. It's a long form talk show and we do it to include you. If you want to be part of the show, we have a live phone number, 702-957-1037. And if you dial that phone number, you'll get straight on the show. We'll, you may have to wait a minute or so, but we'll put you on the show. You can talk to Mike. You can talk to Ash. You can talk to whoever might be out there listening. And remember, looking at the podcast statistics, there's people in China listening to this show. Now, if it's like the Chinese government or if it's like, dissidents there, I don't know. But yeah, just FYI, you never know who might be listening. You might get Vladimir Putin on the other end. Okay,
hey,
so
maybe they just like the shit talk, They're like, oh yeah. Let me hear more shit talk about the CCP,
Yeah, well, no, I doubt that. I think they're transcribing every damn word and got me on a list already, which means you're on a list, Ash.
Nice.
When the boots come to Mars, they're on your neck first. Sorry, man.
Yeah, the Chinese aren't going to make it to Mars for a while. I'm safe. They can't make it here.
You think so? Yeah, if you think so, okay. If you think so,
I mean, I don't think they could send boots here, but they could probably send a nuke. So
well, whatever. As long as they what do they say? Geo-triangulate you. I guess it wouldn't be geo, would it? It would be Mars triangulate you. Then you're in trouble. So yeah,
I might be. They've made some pretty good strides as far as their space programs and stuff like that. It's a shame that the CCP is like this evil empire because they're doing some cool stuff over there and they're like having cool moments. You know what I mean? Like of like getting into space and progress and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
the dark side of the moon, that whole bit. Yeah, crazy.
Cool stuff.
Definitely. Okay, so we are live again, 702-957-1037. If you want that phone number and you can't remember it, I'll flash it on the screen and read it from time to time as we go. Go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website. Phone number is right there on the top right-hand corner, and also the Discord link. So how Ash and I do the show, we're using Discord, which all the kids are using to play video games. But us older, more distinguished types with a couple gray hairs, we use it to do alien talk shows. How about that? How cool is that? So if you want to join Discord, you can be on the show that way as well. Troubledminds.org. Discord link is right there. And hop in here. Get in here. Join the show. We'll talk about all the things we love to talk about. Got anything to add to that before we get into the rest of this, Ash?
Don't I'm actually a very young reptilian. I'm only 500 years old. So I'm in my prime. So speak for yourself, Mike.
Okay. All right. Okay. You telling me you don't have one single gray hair?
I don't have any hair.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we go. Well, that settles that. Well, shit. Okay. All right. You win. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is what we'll, like we always do, again, long form talk show. This is going to go a full long ass 3 hours. If you have a TikTok attention span, I suggest you strap yourself into the chair and don't let yourself up, or maybe expand your attention span and do your best to get over it and not run to TikTok immediately. So there you go. And so we'll do shout outs in a sec. So if you're listening on, we're streaming on Twitch, we're streaming on Facebook, streaming on Periscope, streaming on where the hell aren't we streaming? I said Facebook, YouTube. Anyway, D Live. We're all over the damn place. So if you're out there listening right now, it is live. And yeah, we're going to do shout outs. So just type in the chat where you're listening from. Sorry, lost my train of thought there clearly. But type in the chat where you're listening from, and we will shout you out. And then we're going to do conspiracy news, which we do for the first half of the show. And we take our time. We'd like to include you. Going to put the phone number up one more time. And then after conspiracy news, then we'll get into Tom DeLonge's world. And what if he's right about everything, about all the UFOs, about all the crazy stuff? We should go through that Reddit thread there too, Ash. So we'll start with that when we go to part 2 here. But so let's get going. Let's do shout outs. You want to do shout outs? You want me to do shout outs? How you feeling, buddy? How you feeling tonight?
I'm not seeing the this weird thing happens. I'm not seeing the comments on Facebook, but shout outs to Eli. Thanks, Eli. Thanks for coming around all the time. Penny, good to see you. Hello, how you doing? And that's it. That's all I see on YouTube. But I don't see. Are there comments on Facebook? Because I don't see them.
Yeah, there's people here. Yeah, you're. I think they've got to you. They got to you. The CCP got to you. What's up, Christopher? Gets first on Facebook. How you doing? We got Diane with a close second. Thanks for showing up. We got William. How you doing? Hello. Good evening. We got Roger. Where's ET? We need help. What's up, Roger? Thanks for being here tonight. We got Joanne. Thanks for showing up tonight, Joanne. Hello. How are you? We got Robert. Robert says, well, it's about time. Wasn't it about damn time? Yeah, I agree 100%. Joey, what's up? Joey's here. What's on the agenda tonight? Tom DeLonge and aliens. Sherry, what's up? Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see. Yep, everything's okay. I think everything's okay. Let's see. What else do we got? We got Joe from Florida. How you doing? Damn it, Mike, stop talking. I keep losing count of these ballots. There you go. Multitasking. I love it. What's up, Joey? How you doing? Generation X-Wing. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got? Who else do we got? Joey, Chantel. What's up? Happy birthday, Chantel. How you doing? Thanks for showing up on your birthday tonight. Thanks for sharing that special moment with us. Thanks for always being enthusiastic about the show. Everybody say happy birthday to Chantel in chat there in Facebook. Scully, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for being here. We got Taylor. What's up, Taylor? My dungeon master. What's up? How you doing, my man? Who else do we got? We got, let's see. Robert says, I think Martians are interfering in our elections. Well, there you go. Well, blame Ash. This is all your fault, Ash. All your fault.
I'm trying. I'm trying to cause as much chaos as possible. So that's pretty observant of you. Good job, Robert.
Yeah, somebody knows what's up. Okay, so we got Eli and Penny first, two on YouTube. Then we got what's up. Gibby is on what is that? Discord. Okay, so Gibby says don't see you on YouTube. So if you guys are missing us on YouTube and want to watch there, go to the website troubleminds.org. Streaming right on front. Right click that stream and then just open that in a new tab. Get the link, and then you got the new Facebook channel, or sorry, YouTube channel. So there we go. Who else? We got Eli, Penny. We're good. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's get started with some news. And again, one more time, I want to mention this before we start. We are live. If you want to be part of the show, you want to talk. Okay, so this is not a political talk show. We try to stay as apolitical as possible. But given the extraordinary circumstances of the last week, I think maybe we can make an exception. So if you guys want to talk about this is your forum as well. And we are taking calls on the election if you guys want to talk about what a shit show it's become and whatever. I did talk about it briefly last night and during the test stream. So there is that, but it's not going to be the bulk of the show tonight. But if you want to air your grievances, well, it's that time of year. It's definitely that time of year. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org. Get on the show. All right.
Oh God, what have you done, Mike? What have you done?
You already know. You already know what I've done.
You know the political conversation. When you go to family members, reunions, Thanksgiving, you're not supposed to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Tonight we're gonna do it.
Well,
we're gonna crack that open just a little bit, right?
Only a little bit.
Not too crazy.
Only a little.
Just because we can talk about the election and the craziness of it, and the fact that no one's decided, right? Like, what the heck? So,
what the heck?
Yeah, please call in. We want to hear what you guys have to say. And no matter what side you're on, we want to hear what you got to say. So,
or if you have no side at all, that's also okay. Here we go. This is reported by the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, even better. Wall Street Journal reports this. Now, this strikes me because there's many times where crimes go down, right? Like major infamous crimes, and shortly after, they demolish shit, right? Like, okay. Headline here: Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach mansion to be demolished. A local real estate developer who says he's in contract to buy the waterfront estate is planning to knock it down and build a new home. Huh. Interesting, right? Do you think there's any evidence in Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach mansion? What do you think about that? Let me read just a little bit of this. Todd Michael Glazer, a Florida real estate developer, said he has signed a contract to buy a Palm Beach waterfront property from the estate of the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Epstein house came on the market in July for $21.995 million. Mr. Glazer said that the deal is slated to close in December, after which he plans to tear the property down and replace it with a 14,000 square foot art modern home. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that, Ash? What the hell?
Imagine, when you're buying a home, you like to get the list of information about it, before. So it's like nice, remote, worth like 3 million,
big pool,
ex pedophile den, for elites all over the world. It's like, oh, you just keep glossing over. No big deal. Well, I mean, what they do? They burn down the house that was on the property?
No, so the guy bought it, and so he's going to just demolish it. So he's a developer. He's going to literally like demolish this house. So I want to know exactly. Now this is the problem, right? Do we really think that this? We have Ghislaine Maxwell, right? His lieutenant, as you would say, right? The one who helped him procure these underage women, right? Young girls, terrible. This whole thing, and so she's still on trial. So do you think this house has maybe some evidence that could glean to maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe pursue the criminals that have been part of this child sex ring forever, right? I mean, there's got to be evidence in this house. And my point here is, if you knock this thing down and build over it, isn't that destruction of evidence? Weird, huh? Weird how it went on the market so quickly.
Nothing to see here, Mike. Nothing to see here. Move along. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. I'm going to build a nice bungalow. Okay, we're gonna start over. What's crazy is I don't know if you know this, but there were supposedly tunnels underneath the Epstein Island, and that they filled them with concrete prior to like the FBI storming the place. Now I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's a rumor that was going around. And so it turns out. How do you say Ghislaine? Is it really Ghislaine?
No, it's Ghislaine. It's Ghislaine. The S is silent. Ghislaine Maxwell is how you say it. Yeah.
Apparently, it's like a point of pride to know how to pronounce her name amongst the elite. It's like, like, oh, I know how to say it correctly. It's like, oh, okay, you're a pedo. Good for you.
What are you trying to say, man? Come on.
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm saying amongst them. Now it's famous.
Right.
Now we all.
All right.
But so she supposedly her father ran this kind of operation, and that they have ties to Mossad, which is like the CIA for Israel. That's the rumor that's going around. But either way, it's definitely intelligence agencies kind of owned this guy and used them as an insurgent to gather blackmail and just kind of like House of Cards kind of stuff, And it's crazy. The real world is crazier than fiction. Crazier than any book. And imagine if you're an up and coming politician, you go to a party, maybe they slip you a drug. There's a beautiful girl there. She looks older for her age. And then, you wake up in the morning and then they own you for life. And so they own you for the rest of your political career. And they would like call parties for scientists. They were trying to get all these different people to kind of mingle. So it's just really insane story. And, I got my dad a Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself sweater for Christmas, so
nice.
He loved it.
So spreading the conspiracy holiday cheer. Jeez, yeah. I mean, this is sick. So I don't know if you caught that Alex Jones recent Joe Rogan. He was on there with what's the comedian guy? The guy's hilarious. But so Alex Jones was recently.
He's great.
Yeah. What's his name? Is it Chris? I can't remember. Anyway,
Tom. Is it Tom Fit? No.
No.
I got it. Hold on a second.
Okay. Okay. All right. So anyway, he was on. Alex Jones was on the Joe Rogan show with this extra comedian. I can't think of his name right now, but he was actually talking about this specifically, not just what you were talking about there. How there's the Bohemian Grove, right? And so it's kind of like, you can't get into the club unless they've got something on you. And that's how they stick together. And right, they go down with the ship type of thing, because they have pictures, they have video, they have whatever it is, whatever they need to blackmail your ass into whatever they need you to do forever. It's like blood in, blood out type of situation. Like it's sick. They were talking about it on that. If you guys haven't seen it, do check it out. Joe Rogan and Alex Jones and whoever that other guy is. I can't remember his name.
Oh man, I just had it. I just pulled it up. Tim Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon. Yeah, Tim Dillon. And Tim Dillon's funny as hell.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's great. He's
he's
great,
great,
isn't he? He's like a mild Alex Jones, but funnier. I mean,
yeah, well,
it's like the perfect combo.
Well, Alex Jones is funny anyway, but yeah, this guy's an actual comedian, not just like, sit there with his shirt off and scream about the Illuminati. As funny as that is. Yeah, a real comedian's more funny. Okay, but yeah, so they were talking about this recently, and this was maybe 10 days ago, less than that, maybe a week ago. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast. So, and they were talking about exactly that, where once you get into this elite club, they have to be able to have something on you, or else you don't get in. And that's what they do every year at this Bohemian Grove thing. And so that's what I'm saying, right? So in a situation like this, there's got to be like secret trap doors, and you know what I'm saying? Like maybe hidden basements. Like this is the type of medieval dungeon you would expect to find like underneath this damn house. But for whatever reason, are you shitting me? Very much like I can think of many instances, not off the top of my head, but if you want to put me to it, I'll give me some time and I'll pull some up, where shit happened. It was really ugly, and then shortly thereafter, they just knocked the shit down. It's like they're hiding evidence, right? They're covering up the crime scene. It's just disgusting. And here we go. I just don't know why it's on the market, and they're going to allow this thing to be knocked down when there's still a pending case on his lieutenant, his number one person, confidant, right? That set up most of these things, that helped to recruit these underage girls. That's not good. This is not good. And so it's, capitalism, eh? This guy paid the money, he gets to knock it down. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Not while there's a pending court case and prosecutions happening, and yeah, it just ain't right. This ain't right. Yeah. Anything else on this one, Ash?
What was it? Was it Prince Andrew?
Yeah, Prince Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, not him. Yeah, Prince Andrew definitely got caught up into it. Who's the English bureaucrat that was interviewed about this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea. I know the prince was, and he was making up some bullshit. I do know that. But I
someone
know.
over there, they were being interviewed and they were asking them questions about Epstein, and you could tell that the questions were harder than he thought they were going to be. And man, did he look guilty. Oh man, I'll find that. It was so, you could see like he was totally guilty. He did not do well in that interview. And all these different body language people broke it down. And you could see like where he starts lying and then where he stops lying. And they really break it down, and super interesting to kind of see him trying to warp it and change it and use his like a position of power to like talk down to the reporter and kind of get out of questions. Really fascinating. If you're into that true crime kind of stuff, I think you'll love that interview. I'll try and find it. It's not Prince Andrew's. Who's the redhead? Is that Prince Andrew?
Yeah, no, he's the young guy. That's what's his name? No.
Okay, so it was Prince Andrew. Yeah, Prince Andrew. The interview with Prince Andrew. Then, yeah. If you haven't seen that yet, and you're into like crime and criminals and stuff like that, and like the elite, I mean, what a story, man!
Psychopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a story. So crazy. So, and they interview him. He's squirming in his chair, and man, it really hurt his reputation. Like I don't know why he did that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why
it hurt his reputation more than being a pedophile. It hurt his reputation. Okay. Yeah. I mean, come on. All right. What's up? We got Kelly on Periscope. Thanks for showing up. Kelly says, "Protect your spirit because you are in the place spirits get eaten." Quote by John Trudell. Good evening. And Kelly is on Periscope because he's in Facebook jail. Now you've done it. Now you've really done it. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for finding an alternate method, which is why we stream on multiple sites, because this time it's you in Facebook jail. Next time it might be us. Just so you know.
You ain't doing it right unless you get in jail.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Rage against the machine.
Fight against the man.
Hell yeah. Okay, let's move on here. So the next one, this is reported by The Hill. Go ahead and I'm going to start pulling those news articles out of your queue there, Ash. So if you got a few more, drop them in, and we'll pull them up as we go. All right, now this one is reported by The Hill. Check this out. Now this is exactly what the type of shit I was talking about, right? Let's see, who did I miss? Let's say hi real quick. What's up, Larry? Thanks for being here. We got Taylor from Lubbock, Texas. We got Scully from the East Coast, U.S. What's up? We got OG Todd. How you doing? Arizona is recreational cannabis legal now. There you go. The election is good for something. Congratulations. What's up, Jeff? Thanks
Congrats.
for being here.
Didn't Portland make like hardcore drugs
Yeah,
legal too?
We got an article on that. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Okay.
What's up, Jeff? We got Amanda from Pennsylvania. Let's see who else. We got Joe from Spring, Texas. We got Chad. Who else do we got? We got people showing up. Redfern. What's up? Let's see. Happy birthday, Chantel. Everybody, happy birthday, Chantel. We'll do that. What's up, Caesar? Thanks for being here. Having some brewskis and ready to listen. Good job, guys. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Martin from Sweden, my island. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up tonight. We got, who else do we got? Who did I miss? We got lots of people in here. Let's see. Amanda. Eric from Pittsburgh. What's up, my man? Eric is the sole reason I know what a Commonwealth state is. What's up, Eric? Thanks for showing up, man. What's up? What's going on in your state, man? What's up with your state? All right. Speaking of Eric from Pittsburgh, what's up, Elizabeth from Oregon? Thanks for being here. Okay. Speaking of Pennsylvania. All right. This is reported by thehill.com. And again, we're going to just talk about this briefly, but this is breaking. This just happened like an hour ago. The Supreme Court orders separate count of late arriving Pennsylvania ballots. Uh-oh. You think it's ugly now? Shit is about to get more ugly. So we're now segregating the ballots that came in after the election. For what reason? Why would you segregate those ballots? Do you ask? Yes, that's what's happening here. This is the world we live in, guys. Remember when I was talking about elections and saying the courts decide the elections? Well, get ready, because they're probably going to strike millions of votes from the record, in my opinion. I don't know that for a fact, but if they're segregating late ballots that came in and it's going to the Supreme Court, guess what's going to happen? They're going to smack that shit down. And if it starts there, what state does it go to next? Oh boy. Shit's about to get real.
What a shit show.
Shit's about to get real.
Dude. This is like, honestly, like the last 2-3 days, because I love like scandals, like the conspiracy theory scandals, and the last 3 days have been a blur for me of just like waking up and from one article to the next, just a drunken conspiracy theory haze. I just don't even know what's going on anymore. And there is like this guy got arrested for hiding ballots, videos of supposed fraud, which could just be people doing their job.
Yeah, exactly. Or people making shit
like,
up.
Like people like packages arriving and people pulling huge wagons into the thing. It's like, this is worse than the worst case scenario. This is season 2, 2020. Like, I almost feel like the aliens are like, all right, we got to make sure it gets even better. We got to be on a reality TV show. There's just no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Exactly. Like literally,
and all the last minute changes.
Yeah.
Man,
exactly.
Crazy.
It's
like, what the hell's going on?
I talked about this in brief yesterday when we did the test stream. I talked about the election just for a little bit, but check this out. Now, this is crazy. Now, if a bunch of these ballots get struck down and not counted, or nullified, whatever you want to call it, right? It's stricken from the record. This is the first state, because there were many states, and I talked about this last night, that actually this year legislated and against the Constitution in most cases, not all cases, but in many, many, many cases in different states, they actually relaxed the rules so they could count as many ballots as possible, right? Now, again, right, as long as it's a legal vote, what's the problem? Count it. But now when we have this huge mess of what's a legal vote or what is not, we got a damn problem, don't we? We got a giant shit show. So buckle up. Shit is about to get really ugly in the next, I don't know, week, month, year.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know how long
it's ramping up. I can like see it, and I was thinking, as long as if there is enough doubt, if there's enough videos, enough of these lawsuits actually make traction, once it gets to a certain point, like, no one's gonna have faith in the process. So, like, let's say it does go to the courts, right, and Trump wins. Like, dude, do you think people are gonna feel good about that? If Biden wins, they're not going to feel good about it. Like no matter
No.
what now, it's like a mess.
You're right.
You just got to recount everything and make sure everything's good in the important states that are close. I was hoping it would be a blowout either way. Seriously, I don't care. Like just blow it out. This is like the worst thing that we need right now, and it's just nuts. I mean, unless you're like, I'm usually into this, but I'm not into this. Like I like kind of like a little drama, right? But this is something that
It's too much drama.
Our country doesn't need this, and they're finding out with social media and whatever. Everyone's living in their own worlds, and we usually don't have to come together. We argue on Twitter, right? That shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So if like you're in your world and I'm in my world, like we can live without each other. But now we have to all come together and agree on something. And so you're starting to see like these two realities are just not working. They're not compatible. And I don't think it's going to be civil war. I think Americans are too fat and lazy. And just, like we just aren't. We don't have the energy, but I think it's just it's still not healthy for it, and it's just a bad time for this. So what a shit show.
What a shit show, guys. It gets worse and worse. What's up, Kayla? I see you there watching from PH. What's PH? I'm from California. Is that Pleasant Hill? I don't know what PH is. I don't. Oh, the Philippines. Is that the Philippines? What's up, Kayla? I think that's the Philippines. There you go. See, us nice. Stupid Americans don't even know. Eric is from Pennsylvania. He says they're going to find some votes from people who died in the 1890s. Chad
saw those.
Chad says Biden is pulling away in Pennsylvania. He's killing it in the age group of 100 to 120 year olds. 100% turnout.
Yeah, they were saying there was a joke. I saw a joke. When Biden was having rallies and no one there, no, that's not what was going. He's pitching to his base. Ghosts.
Yes, I saw that. Exactly. They're like, it wasn't that nobody was at the Biden rallies. It's that it was full of ghosts from people that died 150 years ago. Eric says, you can't vote if you're a felon, but your vote counts if you died 30 years ago. You guys with the jokes. If I keep saying this stuff on a stream, they're going to take us down, right? Because that's fake news. You can't say that shit. It's not. Here we are, like we're literally at a place where the Supreme Court is likely to peel back possibly millions of votes, right? And which is the reality of this situation here, because it's so ugly. It's so ugly. However, we're riding the line if we talk about it. You see what I'm saying? It's off the beaten path. It's off script. We're not allowed to talk about this stuff.
Just put them both in there. Just put them both in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put them both in there.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That'd be kind of a great system because they would compete against each other, and then you could be like, "Well, you guys, Trump, are you going to do this?" And they're like, "Well, Biden said he's going to do it." It's like, "Oh, well, then I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to do it better than Biden." Maybe we need a new system. The competition system. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. This shit is crazy. Worst case scenario, you're not going to be bored though for a while. So, that's the good side. That's the good side.
There's some really good comments I have to read. What's up, Scully says, how could we get along on a cosmic scale? We can't get along with our own species. This is why ETs look at us angry, like angry babies with machine guns. Yeah, totally. Robert says, as a Pennsylvanian, I'm insulted anyone would accuse cheating is taking place here. I know all those ballots are legit because I filled a bunch of them out myself. So good. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Kelly says, "No, man, your vote doesn't count. No vote counts when it comes to the president. Get the F over it. You have the illusion that your vote counts." Clearly, again. If you missed my stream yesterday, I highly encourage you. I was basically saying both sides are cheating their balls off, and they always do. And then talking a little bit to Bailey last night, and Bailey reiterated, and I couldn't agree more. It's not about who cheated or who didn't. It's about who cheated better to win. That's really what this shit comes down to. So, and yeah. So there you go. That's what this is. I just wanted to point it out because it is a serious like breach on our systems here, right? So even if, okay, so just take it like Kelly says, your vote for president doesn't give a shit. It doesn't count, right? Because it's already been pre-selected, pre-decided, blah, blah. I understand, right? I get that. But now think about it. If that's the illusion where they want us to believe the vote counts, and they're literally shredding our entire system right now, our electoral system, and it's being exposed by how sloppy they are, Well, it's a problem, right? This is a problem. Like, this is a problem because, again, like Jeffrey Epstein dying in prison of suicide, right? Like, woke a bunch of people up. It's like we have one thing after another. It's like they can't hold it together anymore. People are waking up because shit like this is going down. Like, it's just too uncanny that suddenly all this shit just happens, right? And they just can't cover it up. They can't make it go away fast enough. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know, to me, it feels like all the people in the club, there was like a, you know, and I've said this before, and I think it, you know, to some level, I think I'm right, but, you know, to what degree, I don't know. But I think that there was a power vacuum and that the elite kind of like split, and they're trying to, you know, take over that number one spot here in America. And now you can't really just openly go to war. So it's like insurgency, right? It's like House of Cards kind of stuff. And it's just busting the whole system at its seams, because we're just like chess pieces in their match, right? These are all just chess moves, and they're constantly battling each other. And whether you're left, right, middle, whatever, you know, you get swept up as pawns in this little war. But you got to keep in mind, you don't see the whole picture, right? I don't think anyone does. But there are a lot of things that you just don't know, like this Epstein thing, right? We didn't know about that. We didn't know about the blackmail. How many of those politicians were blackmailed and kept in control for so long? You know, it's a control mechanism. Now Epstein's dead. Maybe some of those control mechanisms were dissolved, and now it's chaos, right? As people vie for the number one spot. I really believe it is that. It's kind of like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, in their world, it was peaceful for a while. It wasn't like a good peace, you know, like under the Bushes and the Clintons and stuff. It's like, it wasn't like good, right? Like, but it was like, it was not chaotic. It was kind of, people were kept in their place. And then, you know, the king dies, George Bush Sr. And then now it's chaos, and like the children are fighting for the crown. And I just, you know, it just seems as time goes on, that's what's going on. And the factions are still up and kicking, man. They're trying to kill each other, and they're eroding like our reality. Like the system is like, like you said, it's crashing down. Like what you thought was just how things are done, you're now starting to see. Do you think this cheating, all this kind of stuff, you think this is the first time this has happened?
No, fuck no.
Double. This has been going on the whole time, right?
Exactly.
It's just.
But okay, but ever was it so obvious and blatant? So I shared a thing this morning in Twitter. Like, I stay up, or not Twitter, in Discord. I stay up late, right? Like almost overnight late, right? Really late. And so I saw this morning that Biden had taken a lead in every state. Like, everything went blue, right? 5 days later, everything went blue, and I'm like, wow, who saw that coming, right? And then it was weird, right? It was kind of like CNN was super uncomfortable. I'm watching these guys, and they're like we made it, right? Like, we got there, but nobody wanted to really acknowledge it, you know? Like, they were tiptoeing on it. Like, nobody wanted to call the election. Nobody wanted to be too happy. It was weird. It was weird to watch. They were just like, well, what do we do now, guys? I would just
CNN is like an S&M slave or something. They're just like, who do we call daddy? Like, you know, they're just waiting to see like the fight, who fights it out and who survives. And they're just waiting, like, we don't want to make the other daddy angry, right? Like, they don't want to take a side. The media is like, a lot of the media is like waiting to see who their master is now.
Yeah, or exactly.
Right? Like,
well, but again, like, those are the types of things where if we're like, okay, so we're literally down to like the 99th percentile in nearly every like state that matters, right? Counting the stuff, and then it's right, it's all turned blue, which is fine, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like I said last night, I'm rooting for gridlock. I hope everything is disjointed enough where nothing gets done, because when they do things, they just fuck it all up more. That's my opinion. So that's what I'm rooting for. So I don't care, right? Except here's the thing. When the media is so complicit, right, and the technocrats and the oligarchs are so complicit in the system and how things roll out and how they happen, and then they happen, right? And then you see these uncomfortable news anchors, or whatever you want to call them, right? The propagandist assholes is what I usually call them. But, you know, the fake news people, and it's not just CNN, Fox News too, right? I think, what's his name? Sean Hannity is one of the biggest douches in the entire media landscape, just to be fair, okay? But you see, like, they made it, and they're uncomfortable. They're tiptoeing around it. Nobody wants to openly say, oh, let's call Biden the president-elect, right? Nobody's saying the damn words. It was bizarre. And then they switched to railing on Fox News from CNN and saying, oh, by the way, Fox News is not using the term president-elect for Joe Biden, right? But they were not either. They were. I'm telling you, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like once everything tipped and it looked obvious what was about to happen, they didn't want to talk about it. It's like they were waiting for the cue from the masters, right, to tell them, "Oh, go, run it," you know. But they didn't get the word yet in their little earpiece. I'm telling you, it's more. The more I watch it, the more I'm disgusted. The more obvious all this is. It's just yeah. Anyway, so whatevs.
Well, you know what the good thing about it is that you know, we're fine. Like, yes, this is all going on. It's interesting. It's exciting, but everything's fine. We're fine. We don't really we don't need the politicians. They need us, right? And a lot of times, these laws that they pass, like you said, they just end up, you know, they think it's good, but how the hell can you know? And you implement it, and then it's bad. And that happens so much over time. So yeah, I mean, it's almost like the forefathers knew that sociopaths are going to try and get to the top. So they made this game in a way that they could fight each other and keep themselves busy. Yeah. Because it's kind of like when they invaded Iraq and all these other things, and they created false flags to invade other countries and topple those countries. You know, a lot of Americans didn't care. And I was like, well, get ready. When they're done over there, where do you think they're going to turn what do you think they're going to turn to now? Then they're going to turn inward on us.
Yeah, of course. So of course. We are the enemy of that elite class. Yeah, exactly. I've got an article where we'll talk about in a sec. Rajesh, what's up from Canada, says, signing off now. Too much politics, no aliens. See you next time. Peace, brother. Thanks for hanging out. You're our emotional support Canadian. You can't just run off that fast, man. There's so many people here need you. Man. Yeah, what's up, Larry?
There's going to be more. This is just a drop in the hat. Trust me, we got plenty of aliens coming up, and you know, you gotta get off your chest. It's crazy times. This is crazy times. This is literally history in the making. It's literally history. And worse, you know.
and worse, and worse than that. What's up, Fred? Thanks for showing up. We got who else do we got? Larry, thanks for being here tonight. Who else do we got? Eric says this Ash guy has a beautiful voice. There you go. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? Can you purr?
You know, Can you purr? I've actually, that's like the 5th time I've gotten that compliment. I hate my voice. So
do I. I concur. Your voice is trash, Ash. You need to get a better lizard suit. Get a new voice box attached to that lizard
human
suit.
Vocal cords.
Yeah.
If I was using my reptilian vocal cords, I'd just be screaming into the mic, you know, just
please don't ever do that again. We got Timothy. Timothy's on Periscope. What's up? Everybody follow Tinfoil Timothy University on YouTube. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up. I'm sure you're on Periscope because you probably are in Facebook jail as well. You're join Kelly in Facebook jail. Kelly says, bro, I have old pics of all those weirdos from the Bohemian Grove and those pics you have. People of Congress and billionaires. So yes, your vote doesn't count, period. It's not cheating. They pick their pawn as the leader. What needs to happen is voting for the proper Congress persons, and we need term limits. Nah, I mean, all that. I think all that stuff is like,
the millionaires and the billionaires.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get off of this because you know, people get a little bit butthurt for the politics here. Okay, but let's see. Eric says nothing says it's 2020 more than the Pittsburgh Steelers being 7-0. There you go. There you go. And Ben Roethlisberger not being in jail. Yeah, that too. Okay. All right, so let's keep on moving here. So speaking of the elites and they're our enemy, check this one out. Check this out. Let's go to this news article because this is pretty funny. And yeah, we're gonna get to the aliens, guys. Everybody chill. We've been out for a little while, so we got some news to catch up on. This is reported by The Guardian. All right, TheGuardian.com, one of our favorite propaganda bullshit news sources. But this is serious business, right? This is literally serious business. Here we go. Pasting the link as we do, and you guys can always follow up on the sources here. I'm not making this shit up. Trust me. Here's your source. Okay, here we go. So reported by theguardian.com, Danish COVID-19 mink variant could spark new pandemic, scientists warn. Okay. Now, mutations in mink herds and wildlife such as weasels, badgers, and ferrets may pose risk to human health and vaccine development. All right, so now, notably, the Danish COVID-19, they say that these minks got it. Apparently, they've got tons of mink farms in this, what is this, Denmark? They got tons, the Danish country, Denmark, it was not registering in my brain. In Denmark, apparently, they have millions and millions of minks in these farms, right? I don't know, they sell their fur, I guess? Is that what's going on here? I thought that was illegal. But anyway, here's the point. Let me read just a little bit of this so you guys get what I'm saying. Now, Ash said the elites are our enemy, right? They see the people as in the way of whatever they need and whatever they want, right? And I think probably many of us could make a decent case for that, myself included. Okay, so here we go. A Danish vaccine specialist has warned that a new wave of coronavirus could be started by the COVID-19 mink variant. The worst-case scenario is that we start off a new pandemic in Denmark. There's a risk that this mutated virus is so different from the others that we'd have to put new things in a vaccine, and therefore the mutation would slam us all in the whole world back to the start, said Professor Kare Molbach, the vaccine expert and director of the infectious disease at Denmark's State Serum Institute. All right. Now, here's the thing. So Denmark, oh crap, what did I just do? Oh, all right. The wrong thing. Denmark, the world's largest mink producer, said on Wednesday that it plans to cull more than 15 million of the animals due to fears that a COVID-19 mutation moving from mink to humans could jeopardize future vaccines. Now these are minks, right? But we're talking about, like I eat meat, right? So I'm call me a monster, but we're talking about butchering 15 million of these cute little critters, right? So now, let's make the parallel to what Ash said. What happens if a particular region catches a mutation that they don't want to set us all the way back? Interesting. That's not minks. Maybe it's people. Maybe it's this state. Maybe it's that state. Maybe it's this little country. Maybe it's that little country. Isn't China back to normal, booming? Yeah, there's something up, right? You know why? Because they butchered the shit out of their people when this started. You catch my parallel here, right? We butcher 15 million minks? Meh, who cares, right? They're just animals. No sweat. Nobody gives a shit. But what happens when this mutation happens in a particular area and it's people that it's mutated in? You see? Now, I'm not suggesting what you think I am, but I am maybe saying, well, what if? What if? Pretty scary, right? Pretty scary, right? I don't know.
Hey, if you guys want to go back to the movie theaters, Grandma's got to go. Okay? Grandma's got to go. We got to ship her away. She's too susceptible. You guys want movie theaters, restaurants, right? You want a beer, right? All right. We're going to take Grandma. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll take care of her.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And, speaking of COVID and this kind of stuff is, have you heard of the Great Reset, Mike?
Yeah, we did a whole show on the Great Reset. You're damn right.
They're rolling that shit out right now. The fourth great industrial revolution, post modern life. And it's a green new world where, humans may or may not be around in the same quantities, and they're a little bit more controlled. And, if you want to have babies or whatever like that, you got to have the government, in on it. And it's scary because they're that rhetoric, that propaganda is starting to be pushed. And, I've heard rumors, the only way it moves forward from here on out is they either have to ramp up COVID and we have to take that pill, which I don't think it's working. It's starting to lose its fate. So what do you need? You need a second virus. And if they have another virus that's even just 5% worse than what this one is, that's all they need to steamroll the people, right?
Not even. It could be worse than. It could be less deadly. Like they've got the entire thing on lockdown now, meaning that they can turn it on and turn it off whenever the F they want, right? Like that's what's going on here. I think this is unfortunate that, like whatever. Again, like I don't want to say too much. You say too much, you get taken down. Speaking of saying too much, you get taken down. Timothy says, he says they got me on every platform except this one. So he's listening on Periscope. That's
impressive.
That's the bottom of the barrel.
Pretty impressive.
Periscope.
Damn.
That's part of Twitter, man, and they're known to be militant with their bans. So careful. I warned you about saying the Z word. Don't say the Z word. All right. So again, right, 15 million minks. We're just going to butcher the shit out of them. No sweat, right? So I don't know. Like it's a little bit.
Grandma's gotta go.
Grandma's
gotta go. We
Yeah.
don't have enough room for grandma.
Yeah.
All right. I want popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is not right. This is not
Birthday
right.
parties. We don't got room for her. We gotta just get rid of her. Her and the minxes. I wonder what minks taste like.
That's a good question. I wonder if they're edible.
That's a
waste. Yeah, exactly.
Aren't they
right?
gonna butcher them? They're gonna butcher them anyway, right? Don't they do that for their fur? So like, what the hell? They're doing that anyway.
I'm not sure why.
Right?
Again, I'm not sure why. Like over here, it's seriously frowned upon. So I don't know. It might even be illegal now. Does anybody know if they farm these things in Denmark for their fur or as?
Well, they have fox farms.
Yeah, I mean, 15 million farms can't be pets. It's got to be for their fur. It's got to be. So I don't know. Like maybe it's legal there. I don't know. Anyway, I just know that's a damn lot of minks. That's what I know. So. I don't know. Like, like all of this is just, I see it and I go, oh, like that's a lot. That's a lot of things to snuff out. And okay, not just that though, right? We talked about this when it was happening, but they were doing it to like chicken farms, like 1 million chickens dead overnight, they just suffocate them, something like that, right? Because they couldn't justify spending the food to keep them alive because they weren't selling enough of the eggs or whatever, right? Because of right? Enough chicken or whatever was going on. Anyway, like this is what I'm saying, like the upside down. We live in the upside down. This is crazy world, crazy town. Yeah, crazy town. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, I just want to point this out as these are the things that happen in our world that come and go real fast and nobody really wants to talk about. But this is the type of shit. 15 million of these things. My goodness gracious, that is a shit ton. Okay, you got any news there? Let's go to your news. I think I'm depressing the shit out of people tonight. So okay,
I mean, some of that stuff is really scary. That Tim Dillon guy we were talking about earlier, he literally jokes about it. He's like, enjoy going outside now, enjoy doing what you want, enjoy it. And he's right. You should we are a really free society to a certain degree. I know there's like things that we want more and we're critical, but you can go outside, you can do all these things. You can have a cheeseburger. Like we're very privileged to live in this time, back like hundreds of years ago, they didn't have the same things that we have, Netflix and ordering stuff to your house. I mean, you live like a king. And so, I'm a firm believer in like appreciating and enjoying what you have and that there's like a certain karma and energy to that. Right. And so enjoy it because, there's some fucking crazy people out there and they want to lock shit down. And he was joking about it. And basically they want to get you into a system where they kind of dictate to you what you do. You can't fly unless you have this like vaccine in it and all kinds of crazy shit. Like you said, we shouldn't talk about it. But look into the Great Reset and some of Bill Gates' patents, and that'll start to kind of paint a depressing picture. But it's what these ideas are, so that when they rebrand them, when they put those new names on them, those fluffy, happy names, the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, yeah. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be utopia. Yeah, you ain't gonna be there. You're not gonna be there. All right, that's gonna be a utopia for them, not you or your family. You ain't gonna be there. That they're talking about them. So like when they rebrand this stuff, don't fall for it. And it's not written in stone. They haven't won, right? We all have to kind of agree to let it happen. So if we keep ourselves educated, we keep aware of this kind of crazy shit. We don't let the conspiracy theory labels, wipe your logic away. Then we can kind of we can do the right thing and say no to these things when they come up. So that was my speech, and I'm sticking to it. And
There you
all
go.
right, let's move on to the next article.
There you go. So I will. So we did do an entire show on the Great Reset. So I will link that show in the notes on YouTube after. So when you guys are done, you can go check that out if you haven't seen that one. It's terrifying, the things they're proposing, right? And it's literally out in the open, like, oh, well, shit is just not going the way we want it, so we're gonna just, go full authoritarian on you, and we're writing it down, and it's obvious, and just read the words, and you should be terrified. But no, nobody's reporting it. Nobody's talking about it. It's all this lefty-righty BS. And again, turn on the mainstream and you'll see. You'll see. You know what's going on. You guys know what's going on. Let's see. Eric says, I'm just waiting for everyone to wake up in 2021 and realize they got to pay taxes on that stimulus. Get batshit mad. Yeah, right? So wait till they send you another one. so that it's going to compound in interest backwards. Like I said, that we create these terms called retro credits. And what it means is, you got fucked. That's what it means. I just don't want to say it. Okay, here we go. Let's go to your independent.co.uk. Mysterious radio signal is coming from inside our galaxy, scientists announced. Go ahead and take this one, Ash.
Yeah, guys, the call is coming from within the house. It's within the galaxy. So this kind of plays into our theme today. They're basically ramping up disclosure. And I think that we've argued about this. We've gone back and forth, and not really argued. We all go back and forth over it, because they'll put things out and they'll retract it. But it really seems like they're just slowly getting everyone ready. Well, it was slow. Now it's freaking ramping up. So, there's another mysterious radio signal is coming from inside our galaxy. This is by the independent.co.uk. So mysterious intense blasts of radio energy have been detected within our own galaxies, astronomers say. Fast radio bursts, or FRBs, last only a fraction of a second, but can be 100 million times more powerful than the sun. Wow, that's actually pretty crazy. Despite their intensity, their origin remains largely unknown. So yeah, just talking about stuff that they're not sure of, that's kind of within our galaxy ourselves. Just a little, if you're into science and space and astronomy, it's good to kind of check up on these things as they kind of figure out what things are. Sometimes these things will go on and they won't figure it out for a decade, but maybe like next month they'll have it figured out. But just some interesting stuff going on. And there's been when we were trying to prep for the show, all I could find was like space news, asteroids and this and kind of stuff. And again, this kind of plays in with our topic today. So, yeah. Anything to say about this, Mike? We've seen this kind of thing before, right?
Yeah, I think actually, so this is 2 days ago. And I think since then, they've actually said they know what it is, right? Do they know what this is? So they're saying it's from a magnetar. So this was one of those things that they talked about, the radio burst coming from outside of the galaxy. Excuse me. And so, as a result of that, people actually talked about this as a maybe a civil, like a alien civilization trying to contact us, right? And so we had we've been watching this. We've been talking about this type of news for a long time on this show. And so the deal is that they had the fast radio bursts, and then they had some that actually repeated, and they repeated on a schedule. And we're learning more and more about these things, but they still didn't know exactly what it was. So now they're saying because it's coming from inside our galaxy, it's a magnetar, I think is what they're saying here. So the bursts of radio energy appear to come from a magnetar, or a star with a very powerful magnetic field. So anyway, this is what they're saying about it. Again, right? Like, we don't know because we don't have the entire picture here. Neither do they, clearly. Because they never do. Because we never do, right? Because we're people. We're merely people here. We don't have the answers. And so, I don't know. Like, this is pretty cool that maybe they found the reason. I don't know. But the FRB news is coming out really fast, and that's not the BRC, like the beans, rice, and cheese burrito. It's a little different. It's the FRB, the fast radio burst. So check it out. It is hot and heavy in that astronomy news thing going on. So yeah. Magnetars, maybe. I don't know. We don't really know, do we? They don't really know yet either, but yeah. Cool shit. That's what I got to say about that. Let's see. We got some good chat, but what else? What else do we got news-wise? What do you want to talk about, Ash? Actually, hold on.
Let's
hold on.
go. Okay.
All right. This is your show as well. If you want to be on the show, you want to talk about this, any of this stuff, or anything we haven't touched on, there's tons of stuff. We've been kind of off the air for a week or so because of that election thing, right? Oh, speaking of that, let me explain what I think that is. But okay, so if you want to be part of the show, this is your show too. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Troubledminds.org is the official website. You can find the phone number and the Discord link there. Discord is free. 702 area code is Las Vegas, where we're streaming from. And so there you go. If you don't like the international long distance or whatever it is, you can join the Discord, and it's free as long as you have a internet connection. So simple as that. Okay, but let me throw a theory at you, Ash. Now, this is a little bit tinfoil hat, okay? A little bit. I talked about this just a smidge last night on the test stream, but it seems to me, so for about a week now, that my internet has been fine mostly, right? So I could stream whatever kind of garbage I wanted to. I could watch YouTube, right? I could watch, mainstream news media, right? Like I could stream Netflix. I could stream whatever the hell I wanted to, except my upload was throttled to like 1 megabyte, which is not good enough to stream. And it was like that for over like a week, like as long as it's been since we actually did the last show. Now, follow me down this rabbit hole that I kind of considered myself here. I never thought that I would be part of a censorship program on a national scale like this. But I think if anybody out there has had problems uploading anything or live streaming, if you do, let me know. Because here's my theory. So if like, let's say Cox and Comcast and all the major players in the internet field actually take your internet connection and they throttle your upload so much that you can't live stream or have a very hard time uploading content to, say, YouTube, right? Then what they've done is they basically broke the connection of speaking back. And so you could only download something and listen to what somebody had to say. But on the other side, if you tried to upload and speak back, you see what I'm saying? It's like a again, a little tinfoil hatty, but maybe this was like that 3 Days of Darkness type of situation, right? Where it was like a half lights out situation. You see what I'm saying? So they silence creators, they silence influencers because they want to control the narrative for the most critical 4 or 5, 6, 7 days right before the biggest election in your life. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's possible. One of the things about the nefarious things that these companies do is instead of just straight up banning you or whatever, they just tweak the algorithm so you don't show up, right? So they throttle your internet. There's a lot of different ways to do it where you're not really being censored. You are being censored, but not. You can't really point the finger at anyone. You can't like sue anyone. You can't go to the public and complain. And so, yeah, it's interesting. All you have to do is like throttle upload for certain people. And I mean, it is a little tinfoil hat to like assume like they're inside the house, right? And they're like destroying the connection. But you can't put it past it because it's possible. Now, are you saying the platforms throttled you or your internet was throttled?
No, the internet. Okay, now this is a conspiracy, guys. This is a conspiracy. This is what I'm saying. So most people don't stream, right? Most people don't upload videos to YouTube. There are people that do, and there are a lot of people that do. But like as a population basis, it's probably like some kind of 90th percentile that don't live stream or upload. That's my point. So I'm not saying it was like an intentional target me, they're in the house type of situation. I'm saying, let's say they did it all over the valley, like I haven't heard from anybody that lives in Vegas. If you're out there and you do live in Vegas, do you watch your upload? Because my point is this: if people don't actually live stream or upload things to YouTube and they don't watch their upload speed, you may not even realize you were affected. That's what I'm saying. So you see, so I don't think it's like a let's target Michael Strange. I'm not saying that. Our reach is nowhere close to being like that type of target, like an Alex Jones type of target. But I'm saying if you do that over like a wide enough area, then you are silencing a particular type of person with a very kind of sneaky way of doing it. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Again, I don't know. Like I'm just me. I'm asking if anybody out there has had any problems, maybe uploading videos to YouTube or live streaming the week of the election or whatever's going on, because I certainly did. You guys can go. Like Ash was here with me. We tried it. Like my internet has been as robust AF as long as I've been here in Vegas. Like literally the hottest internet I've ever had in my life. No problems ever. And you can go back and you can track this, right? Again, part of the beauty of doing a show every week or twice a week or 3 times a week or whatever it was, whatever it has been. And you can see how consistent my internet has been. But somehow, some way, the week before the election, I can still watch CNN and Fox News, but I cannot live stream Troubled Minds Radio. You see? Most people would never realize that it's kind of like a stealth. Anyway, just tell me I'm crazy. It kind of occurred to me that, like, wait a minute. That's certainly a way to, like, kind of shut people up from talking back. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, it's important to even just, like, realize this is kind of possible, right? Whether it's a coincidence or not, it had that effect. So it's like, you really can't put it past, like, it's not an impossible thing to do. And in addition to that, I heard there was a lot of worry about hacks, like widespread hacking during this election, and that the NSA and the all these kind of into agencies or whatever on high alert, right, to protect yourselves because it's a volatile time. And you have to keep that in mind going forward, with the election being contested how it is. And I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying in general, it's kind of like when a country has an undecided leader and it's a little bit of chaos, other countries are going to throw fuel on that fire. So if they're hacking like our infrastructure, posting propaganda, doing all this kind of stuff, other countries are going to totally, countries that hate us are going to take that opportunity. So it could be a grid thing, maybe it was a huge hack. They wouldn't tell us, right?
Yeah, that's true. That could be too. That could very well be. So again, like I'm not flattering myself and saying I'm targeted by the CIA or something, right? Like this is not that big. So I'm not tripping like that. I'm just saying that like it could be like a ninja stealth style thing to shut down, just like William says on Facebook. Maybe they don't want people who live stream to influence people who vote, right? And that's kind of what I'm saying, right? So if they kind of have like COVID internet problems, which is what they've told me for the entire past week, what the issue was, right? Again, we've had COVID since freaking January and had not had a single internet problem for me. But suddenly the week before the election, we have upload problems. You see? I don't know. Like, call me tinfoil hat. I don't know. Got a couple shout outs, folks showing up, and some maybe kind of making some sense here on what I'm saying. Actually, Robert says before that signal is from an alien civilization pissed off at being bombarded with our Golden Girls episodes. So they're bouncing them back at us and throwing in episodes of Friends for good measure. There you go. There you go. There's your fast radio burst.
It's got to be it.
Got to be
it.
Got to be it. What's up, Luke? Luke says that Mike, it makes perfect sense. Simply follow the powers that be. Could be. What's up, Luke? Gregory. Ooh, hello. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up. Gregory, long time no see. Tamrin from South Africa. Hello. Thanks for showing up. Says, here in South Africa, we have had a few weeks of possibly the worst internet connection ever. The whole country is complaining maybe it's all connected. Anybody else out there had problems recently? Anybody that maybe streams on Twitch or something, video games or something, you would notice your upload speed because you wouldn't be able to upload. You wouldn't be able to stream. So anyway, just curious. Again, I'm not trying to flatter myself and say, oh, Mike is the biggest tinfoil hat target of the CIA. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it would be a really dirty way to kind of shut down those influencers on the internet by really not allowing them to kind of talk back. And talking back means live streaming and uploading videos. So anyway, just a theory I had. I'm not sure exactly if it has any legs, but just wanted to throw it out there. The more problems I had, the more suspicious I got, let's say. And then the election ended. Well, it hasn't really ended, but it ended, and then the internet came back on perfectly. I don't know. I don't know. Causation, correlation, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I want to throw that out there. Okay, so all right, let's. You got the other news article for you. Let's do that one, and then we'll keep on trucking here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about fucking Nazi Bermuda Triangle.
What?
The Hitler Triangle.
Wait. I don't have this article.
Successfulflow.me. Do you have that one?
No. Oh wait, in your. I got. All right. Yeah. All right.
You
I'll
got
talk.
it,
I'll talk a little bit, and you do your thing. There we go. We got it now. Nazis in the Bermuda Triangle. You're, dude. All right. Now we're cooking with gas, guys. All right, here we go. Nazis in the. Take it away.
No, yeah. So it's not actually Nazis. It's the secret of the strange Bermuda Triangle may finally be solved. Right, the mystery that we've all known about for a long time. And so meteorologists suggest a surprising new explanation regarding the mysterious events that take place in the Bermuda Triangle. So the Bermuda Triangle, they have a graphic here. I pulled it up. It looks like a freaking Nazi symbol, right? Which is like, they commandeered this.
Is that the Nazis?
Isn't that the Nazi?
No. That's the. I don't know what that is. Anybody with their symbolism up on that, let us know. I don't know what that is. That's definitely not the Nazi thing. Might be the opposite. Anyway, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Well, well, the Nazis commandeered that symbolism anyway. That symbolism was used by all these different religions. Anyway, so there's just a hyperbolic title. It was clickbait. I just wanted you to click, and if you're listening, it worked. So
damn it.
So yeah, gotcha. So the stories such as Flight 19 and a group of 5 U.S. torpedo bombers that vanished in the Triangle in 1945 are some of the most popular ones. And it's been a place where seriously, like a lot of ships and planes have gone down. And it's been a mystery for a long time. They say altogether a total count of 75 planes and hundreds of ships have vanished in the area as far as we know. So this is a pretty crazy area. It's really famous. So there's a theory on how this worked or what was causing this. And the astounding theory is based on unusual hexagonal clouds, right? That's what you guys would have thought. Hexagon clouds.
Yeah, clearly that causes all the problems.
They cause everything. Well, so these unusual hexagonal clouds, and they have some like pictures. I don't know if it's like these are real. If they're real, that's really interesting from space. According to this information, these clouds create 170 miles per hour bombs full of wind, and finally, these air pockets result in hundreds of drowning planes and sinking ships. So it creates this like atmospheric anomaly that basically punches freaking planes and ships, and it would explain the sudden loss of these vehicles, right? That just a crazy anomaly. Something crazy has to be going on here. Now, if you're asking me, I would say aliens, right? That's what I would go with. That'd be my first guess, the responsible choice. But these magnetic anomaly areas supposedly are like weakened points within the transdimensional sphere or whatever you want to call it. Basically, the veil between worlds are weakened here. So maybe the thing from Stranger Things comes over and grabs people. Who knows? But this is their theory.
The Demogorgon.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What's from Dungeons and Dragons, right?
It is. Actually, it is. I'm about to put that on a Dungeons and Dragons channel, by the way. The Demogorgon. Got a couple things real fast. Let me interject. Tamron says that's the Star of David. That's what I thought. And Timothy says it's a pentagram. That's also what I thought. So I wasn't sure, but that's what people are saying.
Sorry, guys. I'm ignorant of symbology.
Same here,
if I offended anyone, I apologize. I'm just an idiot on the internet. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
So the scientists who have studied the imagery from NASA scientists conclude that some of these specific clouds reach 20 to 55 miles across. In addition, waves inside these winds could reach a height of 45 feet. And they're extremely strange with edges on them. Oh, so these are pictures. Wow, really weird. If you scroll down in the article, there's a picture down there. So anyway, check this out. If you guys are interested in this and solving this mystery, and there's clearly some hexagons in this. So,
a little bit weird. Let's see if we can actually zoom in on the picture here. Here we go. There's the hexagons in the clouds. There's the clouds. I don't know. This is the Bermuda Triangle. So there's been tons of stuff, right? They said ley lines. They said wormholes. They said all kinds of stuff, right? Because planes disappear. They had like time traveling incidents, lost time, right? Like compasses going bizarre. This is all like this is old school conspiracy, right? This is the Bermuda Triangle. Damn it! I was reading this and like I'm not gonna tell you the year because you'll know how old I am, and then you'll be like, damn, Michael Strange is old. But yeah, I got him. He's got more than 2 gray hairs, I swear. No, but look. A long time ago, let's say, like this was one of the OG conspiracies, right? It was, like that people losing time, losing direction, compasses going nuts. Like I said, planes and ships just literally vanishing, and they never been found. So I mean, this is OG stuff, and like I said, ley lines, wormholes. There's tons of other. I think it was it methane in the water? They said that maybe could kind of bubble up and then cause a ship to not be buoyant anymore and literally just sink to the bottom like a rock. Like there's tons of these theories that people have kind of kicked around, scientists and pseudoscientists and knuckleheads like us alike, that have just kind of threw it out there. And we don't know, but hexagons in the clouds. That's a new one. That's one I've not heard. So yeah, good shit. If you guys want to check it out, link in the article. All right, let's see. What else do we got? Here? Let me link this one more time. What else do we got?
I got a banger here. I haven't read this one, so we can do it together. And this is a fun one, guys. This is literally everything we talked about tonight.
All right.
The independent.co. CO. You say co or CO?
Co-work. Okay, whatever.
Co-uk. It's independent.co.uk. Co-uk. Anyway, that's stupid. Elon Musk SpaceX will make its own laws on Mars. Oh my god.
Nice.
No Earth-based government has authority or sovereignty over Martian activities. And then they're going to build the Gundams and they're going to go to war with Earth. That's what's going to happen. So look at this. Look at the balls on Elon Musk saying that they're basically, this is what we talk about this. It's like when the world locks down, there's nowhere else to go, right? There was Europe and they had their authority, and then Americans fled there they fled to America, and then they started their own state, and they said, your laws, you have no power here, priests. You have no power here, priests. This is our land, and we make the rules here. And that's how America started. Well, that's how like freaking every place started. Americans running away from their authoritarian government or a shitty situation to find a new prosperous land. Well, there's nowhere to run here. So y'all trying to freeload on my planet.
Hey man, you're the OG breakaway civilization. We can't, somebody's got to come join you eventually. You can't be so, say, I don't know, like, is there an anti-human sentiment? What's the term for being prejudiced against humans? I'm sure there's a term.
Speciesist?
Speciesist. You dirty speciesist. I don't know.
It's not my fault that, the Lord Savior Godzilla reptilian god made me better than you guys. All right. As a reptilian, you got more hearts. We are taller. We
got sexier
run
voices.
faster. It got. I seriously, I don't like my voice. So every time I hear stuff like that, it's so weird. It's like so weird. I think I sound like a nerd.
I think it's a shill, man. I think that was a voice shill. Somebody that like hops streams and goes, "Man, what a sexy voice!" And then he jumps to the next stream.
It's trying to spread good karma.
Everything is a conspiracy. It's like the positive conspiracy. Yeah.
Nobody likes you. It's all fake.
Exactly. It's all fake.
What a conspiracy. Nobody likes me. Everyone's it's all ruse.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So back to Elon Musk and making its own laws on Mars. Like, so what kind of laws are up on Mars right now? Do you have to like knock the dirt off your shoes before you go back in the cave? Like, what's going on up there?
Of course, it can't be filthy up here. You got to be civilized here on Mars. Yeah. So SpaceX will not recognize international law on Mars according to the terms of service. Look at Starlink internet. They're declaring international intergalactic sovereignty in their freaking terms of service.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I'm the first one there, I'm gonna do the same thing too. I'll be like, motherfuckers, your shit does not apply here. We're using common sense up here. That's the way it's gonna work.
Yeah, so all these people who want to be the first people to go to Mars, I would read the fine print if they're writing shit in their terms of service like that. Yeah, just a little quick bit here. We declare intergalactic sovereignty. So just a little quick tip bit here at the end of the contract, and you're a slave now, or who knows, man. But Yeah, it says Elon's space company will instead reportedly adhere to a set of self-governing principles that will be defined at the time of Martian settlement. Utopia. Another utopia, Mike.
Yeah.
Another beautiful utopia.
Welcome to life. Welcome to life. Welcome to the breakaway civilization. Let us know when you get company up there. Got some good comments here. Larry says, kneel before Zod. So good. So good. The original Superman, if you don't know. No, Superman 2, right? Superman 2. Superman 2. Fred says, I believe there are international treaties about the use of Mars as to not contaminate. And I think that's true. But I don't think, like, who can enforce it? I think that's the problem, right? So, like, if you're the first one there, you're basically trailblazing, right? And that's going to be Elon. And I think you'd have to, because clearly, right, there's different, you're not going to say different physics per se, but the planet is so different from Earth. Can you really just, write the laws of Earth and send them to Mars, beam them to Mars, and expect things to work the same way? Of course not. I mean, like you could expect it, but come on. Let's be real, people. Of course not. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. Robert wants to know, or he says, Martians, reptilians molt. Do you molt, Ash? Do you actually molt? Like the skin and the lizard thing, or no?
I don't want to talk about
it. Okay. It's an embarrassing. Okay, all right.
It's pretty painful.
Okay, all right.
It's like, when when the winter comes around for humans and you get like dry skin and you have to put lotion on, imagine like your face peeling off, just pieces of you. Just it's nasty. It's not good. I'll admit there's some cons about being reptilian.
Okay.
Still definitely outweighs being a human by far, but it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's see what time we got. We're almost there. A couple more minutes. All right, check it out, guys. This is your show too. If you guys have comments on anything we talked about, anything we haven't talked about, whatever, you just want to say hi, you want to give us show feedback, you want to request a show in the future, tell you what, you want to be on a show in the future, all that is open. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. The official website. You can find the phone number and the Discord link there. And yeah, that's what we do, right? I kind of go into a trance when I say that now. I've said it so many damn times, I probably say it in like the line at the grocery store. They're like, next, sir. I'm all, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org is the official website. They're like, you're next, sir. I'm like, oh, fuck, sorry. I'm sorry. I was in a trance. I was just, doing my thing. Yeah. So anyway,
you're gonna be an old folky home in the future, just repeating that line.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what he's talking about. I think he thinks he's on a game show. Exactly. Mike's in the corner.
He's playing a video game. In his head. He's got a Neuralink. Yeah. Who knows? Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're about to get to Tom DeLonge. And get to aliens in just a sec. But again, right, we burn through some news. We talk about this. We talk about that. Anything you want to mention in a couple minutes here before we take a quick break and then get to Tom DeLonge? Anything on your mind, Ash? Any whatever you got, man? What's going on tonight?
Oh, no, I definitely, I think it's time for a shameless plug.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
You know what? I'm going to molt shame. Any shame or self-awareness, just get rid of that stuff right now. All right. So
I hope it's
the
not
best
painful.
channel on the internet, right next to Mike's, the two best channels on the internet. Come join me, Ash the Reptilian from Mars, my YouTube channel. We've got all kind of conspiracy theory content from pyramids to aliens, and I have an episode I'm about to launch. It's almost done. It's about alien false flags. Or the alien false flag that's coming. So please check out my channel, subscribe. I got a lot of cool stuff coming around the corner. I've got some stuff that's nowhere else, actually. I got some unique, one-of-a-kind things that are going to come out on the internet I'm proud of. Getting things done, contacting, basically, I'm trying to get a hold of some remote viewers, to get some actual remote viewing done, some supposed psychics, all this kind of crazy stuff. I want to really get into ghosts, all that kind of stuff. So come join us over there. It's like crazy X-Files, and and I'd love to have you. And it's great to be here, and it's good to plug.
Plug it. Drop it in the
There you
Discord.
go.
Actually, send me a link and I'll drop it in all the chat. Do check out Ash on. Everybody knows Ash here. If you don't know Ash and you're listening on a podcast or you're new, whatever. What's up? Thanks for showing up. All that good stuff. But do check out Ash and his YouTube channel. And we're not going to get into too many plugs here. But yeah, as I'm about to plug what for the commercial coming up next, but okay, there we go. All right, so we got what's up, Bailey? Thanks for showing up. I see you on YouTube. Who else do we got? Kelly says, "What people think that planet is empty and void of life?" Yeah, Mars. Yeah, dude, the breakaway civilization, right? Alex Jones, he's always talking about the people up there or whatever. Secret space program. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's see.
That's a good point. I don't know where I heard it, but the remote viewers. Yeah. So they were saying the remote viewers have been gathering data. They're like, okay, so if you think humans colonized and there's probably like dozens of civilizations, you think you're just going to go to Mars and claim sovereignty? That's like going to Brazil or something and being like, all right, we own this land. That's not how that works. I mean, hell.
Not anymore anyway. You used to.
We never went back to. We never went back to the moon. Why do you think that was? It's probably occupied. You know, there's rumors that there were ships there, and they were basically saying like, "Yo, you're trespassing. Get out of here." You know, and we never really went back. Like, and we had all these plans. So why didn't we go back? You know, and I think Buzz Aldrin, Alex Jones claims that Buzz told him about that stuff, that there was aliens on the moon. And there's a monolith on Mars and all that kind of stuff. Tom Fitton? What was Fillon? Tim Fillon? Whatever, that guy.
Tim Dillon.
Alex Jones on it.
Dillon.
Tim Dillon, that's it. It's so close to other guys.
I know.
Okay, this is actually important. So I'm sorry I'm going on a funny tangent, but this is actually a little piece of that Joe Rogan podcast that went by really fast and no one really realized it. Tim Dillon challenged him. Like, oh no, Buzz retracted those statements. And Alex was like, no, he came on my show and he talked to me about it. And he literally told me, Buzz Aldrin, the guy who went to the moon, told me that there was aliens there and told us to basically get the hell out of here. So I thought that was really interesting because I know Alex Jones is crazy and you can't really take his word for as 100%, but that's a pretty bold claim. Anyway, just a kind of tangent, throw that in there.
That's right.
That was pretty interesting.
It's a talk show after all. What's up, Millie? Thanks for showing up. Millie says, good evening. I started listening just a few minutes ago. Have you guys heard of that lady, Gina Marie? She takes a lot of pics of things in the skies. I have not heard of her, but sounds good. I like pictures of things in the sky. So if you got links or whatever, we'd love to see it. Let's see. John wants to know if he goes to your channel, Ash, is he going to be duped into watching you put lotion on or something silly like that? There you go.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. You're
got to get you a little bit more invested, you know.
There you go.
Because
right?
otherwise, that stuff's gonna pop up. You're just gonna switch channels, right? I got to get you a little bit.
It's the long con.
Invested.
It's the long con.
Yeah.
You're going to be watching for like 6 months and be like, yeah, this content's pretty decent, and then Ash is going to be like, it pushed the lotion on its skin. Okay. All right.
It's going to be years from now.
Years from now.
Damn it.
Years from now. Okay. All right.
Knew it. I freaking knew it.
All right. Quick commercial. We're going to take a 2-minute break and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Tom DeLonge, aliens, and the world we live in. And this is Tom's world now. We're transitioning from our world and our reality into Tom's reality. Tom DeLonge, UFOs, clips from the Joe Rogan podcast and Jimmy Church, and we're going to talk about that. Oh, and this Reddit thread, which we didn't even get to last time. So we should start. Remind me, please. We're starting with the Reddit thread, then we'll get to the clips, and then, yeah, holy shit. Tons of things Tom DeLonge says are right. Like, oh, all right. Yeah, high five, brother. But then some other things he said, you're like, wait, what? So that's what we're going to talk about in just a sec. So let's play this quick commercial. We're going to come back, take 2 minutes, stretch your legs, go tag a friend, tell somebody to get their ass in here and listen to this because they want to hear about aliens and what people actually think about it. Or let's find the Blink 182 fans. Where are they at? I'm sure they're out there. They exist, right? I'm sure they exist. Yeah. Anyway, we're about to talk about that. 2-minute break. Top off your drink. Go hit the restroom. I might do both. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. Be back with Ash the Reptilian talking about Tom DeLonge. Aliens. Here we go.
Are you enjoying the conversation? Do you like talking about all things aliens, conspiracy, and paranormal? Well, if so, thank you. And also, we need your help. As you are probably aware, the technocracy, the government, major corporations, and anybody with a ton of money needs to control the narrative. Otherwise, they cannot control your mind. And as a result, free speech, independent thought has become the devil, the opposition. And of course, anybody that knows anything realizes that notion is absurd. The individual decides what they want for themselves, not from the collective. And pay attention to the media and ask yourself, which are they telling you to prefer? Now, I ask for help. The way you can help this conversation continue is by spreading the word. And it's really easy. You can spend just a few seconds of your time. Go to troubledminds.org, that's the official website, and find the iTunes link and leave us a review. If you enjoy the conversation, that is the best way you can give back to Troubled Minds and the community that we've worked so hard to build together. Otherwise, the technocracy will continue to stamp us into the ground. They will continue to shadow ban the words we say and the thoughts we think, and this will never end.
And we're back. And so I actually want to point some things out. So speaking of iTunes reviews, we've been fantastic for a very long time. We were like literally 5 stars, right? Everybody was like, damn, I love this show. And recently we've had some haters jump on there and say some bullshit things, and then they retracted the bullshit things. I'm not even sure you can delete the comments, but the comments are now gone. But they still left us 1-star reviews. So I'm sure we have some people out there that have not left us a review yet. And I kindly ask you, pretty please, go leave us a review. We've dipped to 4.5 stars out of 5. Can you believe that? The fucking audacity of these people. These drive-bys that show up for 10 seconds and have like a TikTok attention span, right? They can't listen to like, I don't know, some common sense for 10 minutes, but they can spend 90 seconds and go leave us a shit review on iTunes, right? There's your TikTok generation. Pisses me off. But again, and transparency is a beautiful thing, because if you don't like the show or you want to suggest things that we should do better on the show, well, hey, not like Don Lemon and Company or Sean Hannity and any of the rest of these assholes, you can pick up the phone and you can call me. You can talk to Ash, you can talk to me and say, hey, why don't you do more of this on the show or less of that? Why don't you, I don't know, whatever you want to say. I don't. Anyway, 702-957-1037. Join the Discord, troubleminds.org. Please help us out. Go to iTunes, leave us a review. It helps a lot because it's the way we dodge the algorithms, right? We have enough people saying thumbs up, the algorithm gets confused. It's like, wait, I was told these guys are bad, but there's a lot of people saying thumbs up. So, well, what do I do? What does the algorithms do? Yeah, what's up, Millie says she became big when they shut down all the satellites when that one thing came into view, like 2 years ago. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know exactly what reference you're talking about, but you're talking about Gina Marie. So yeah, I don't know. Again, send us some links and we'll look at that stuff and talk about it. What's up? Let's see. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Bailey, what's up? Says, what, this show's longer than a TikTok? I'm out of here. Yep. Well, congratulations. You take the, wow. It took a long time to catch up to that one. Holy shit. It's okay. We'll do 12-second videos in the future of Ash rubbing lotion on his skin. So you're in luck.
ASMR. ASMR.
Alien reptiles from Mars. ASMR. All right, so let's get to Tom DeLonge, and we're in Tom's world now. We've transitioned from our world to Tom's world. Let's go to this Reddit thread. Let's start with this. Now I'm going to link this. If you guys didn't see this, we were talking about this last show, and this is part of what really spawned this conversation, because Ash and I were talking about it. I'm like, check this out. Look at this thread. Blah blah. There's a ton of really like cool and crazy weird stuff in here, and it's Tom DeLonge. You know, I've done my fair share of shitting on Tom DeLonge. Sorry, Tom, if you're out there listening. You know, it's not personal. I just don't believe you. but he's you know, there's a lot of things he says that seem to be what would you say? Like, they seem to be in line with what a lot of the folks, the most respected people from the UFO community, also say. So, I don't know. How do you quantify that? How do we do that? Let's look at the thread here and on Reddit. I just linked it. You guys can check it out if you want to follow along. And yeah, I don't know. What are you seeing here that we should talk about, Ash? Tons and tons of good shit.
Link me.
Oh,
I'm trying to find it.
Dear Lord.
Oh my God.
I'll start.
Oh, I'm so unprofessional.
I'll
Terrible.
Start. Holy shit.
Fired.
Holy
What?
shit. You're fired.
Oh my
Triplicate
God.
fired. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're sending me messages I didn't see. So yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault. Okay, here we go. There's your link.
You don't read
All
my messages.
Yeah,
Man.
well,
I
I'm
get it.
juggling
I get it.
6 chats.
I knew that conspiracy was true.
I'm juggling
No one
6
likes me.
chats. I'm doing sound effects and commercials, and I'm doing a damn talk show. Come on. All right, here we go. So this thread here on Reddit says Tom DeLonge, his crazy statements and claims, right? So I thought it might be, this is posted by somebody named XVII-L, and that probably is, I think, a gang. -L. I don't know. I thought it might be illuminating to do a dive into what Tom DeLonge says he believes after talking to his advisors. I've taken this from the following interview, which this was Jimmy Church, and my own read of his first Secret Machines novel. I'm sure others have much more to share, so love to hear more. I'm not vouching for its truth. It's completely insane and profoundly frightening, if true, but I thought you might be interested in seeing this given his pedigree so far. And so this was from 3 months ago. This is actually pretty new repost here. So, as others have reported, these advisors are allegedly senior generals and figures in the U.S. intelligence services and the military-industrial complex. It seems clear to me he does have these contacts based on his known contacts and information TTSA has got out so far, including senatorial briefings, as well as the Navy acknowledgement of UFOs and lately partnership with the U.S. Army. Please also see Red Panda Koala's excellent video and Kiwi's notes, which I've just discovered. Search DeLonge notes in this sub. There you go. This sub is the UFOs /r/UFOs, right? Not to be confused with UFO, because I think those guys are assholes. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Here's the wild stuff.
Well,
buckle up.
So, well, before we go, if you guys don't know who Tom DeLonge is, it's going to sound weird. He is the band member of Blink-182, which is one of the biggest bands ever. And he's had a passion for aliens and all that kind of stuff for a while. He's been really into it. And he supposedly has penetrated the secrecy and contacted people in the government. And they're utilizing him as an asset to get stuff out there and organize to build stuff and stuff like that. So he's basically supposedly has inside connections. Him and his people are he was responsible, not solely, but part of the getting the UFO videos out, those UFO videos that were on the New York Times, and you know the ones with the gun cam footage. If you haven't checked those out, do so. Yeah, and so he, as time's going on, we're starting to put together pretty much stuff he said and starting to bring together a narrative, right? And he supposedly has insiders. He's got his own bias, and we have to kind of parse that, like what's the Tom ideas and what's the inside ideas, and then also like take into consideration they could both be wrong or they both could be lying. And he has literally said there are things that he thinks the public should not know. So yeah, was that a good intro? Did I catch everyone up?
Perfect.
Hopefully.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Awesome. Cool.
So okay. So straight from the Reddit thread, he claims. What are some of the things he claims? You want to take some of those, and then we'll kind of kick them around, and then we'll play some clips from Rogan and Jimmy Church here. So again, we're taking this as a thought experiment, guys. So again, you know, that's what we do here. We don't have answers. We have questions. We look at and try and parse what other people say and match them together and try and make sense of the world we live in. And many times, nothing makes a damn bit of sense, but we're talking about it anyway. So here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. So it seems like it goes in order of boldness. It basically starts with kind of like some structure and goes off in the left field. And so, you know, as we read these things out, like, yeah, maybe some of them are crazy. Maybe some of them are nutty. But if you literally don't know the nature of reality, which we don't, like anything's possible. So like there are some things that are going to come up that are going to be like, oh, okay. And that may be the thing that's true when the thing that you think is true isn't, right? So let's get into this crazy shit. So the first thing he mentions, and I'll just mention a few off. Mike, feel free to interrupt me if it's an interesting topic you want to talk about it, and please call in because we're about to get into some. It's going to be literally everything, like every sci-fi movie you've ever seen. So call in. The numbers in the title. We'd love to hear what you got to say, and let's get into it. So the first thing he claims, I mean, we're already in bold territory, is that the universe is teeming with intelligent life of all kinds. So it's Men in Black. They're everywhere. It's all over the place. And they're on the moon, and that's why we didn't go back. And they're on Mars. So Elon Musk ain't going to have a good time when he gets here because, he's stepping up on my territory, right?
Look at have a problem. Have a problem. More than one problem.
Exactly. We're gonna have a problem. That's right. We're gonna have a problem. That malevolent. So here's the second thing: malevolent ETs are present on Earth and have been manipulating humanity for most, if not all, of our history. And the advisors that he has referred to them as the others. So you're gonna hear that name a lot. The others. That's what they're known as, which is a very xenophobic kind of like label.
Wait,
so,
is it? Is it
the
though?
others?
Wait. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I'm not going to say it directly, but we replace alien groups with some sort of human race in your mind, and now I say, you know what? We got to be careful of the others. Doesn't that sound a little racist?
The outsiders.
Right?
The outsiders. Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like I've heard aliens, malevolent aliens, called way worse things than the others. So just throwing that out there. But okay, whatever it is.
Offense.
Okay, but hold on. Now this is the thing. Now let's break that down. And he says malevolent extraterrestrials are present on Earth and have been manipulating humanity for most, if not all, of our history. What the hell, right? If that doesn't turn up the entire, what would you call it? The apple cart doesn't turn up the apple cart right now. I don't know what does, because he's saying they've been here. They've been watching us and they've been manipulating us since day one, since we were humans. And of course, if anybody knows the Anunnaki story, we've talked about it quite a bit. I'm not an expert. What's up, Kelly? What's up, Todd? If you guys are out there or Anunnaki experts, this jives with what he's saying, right? The Anunnaki he's kind of saying this, isn't he? He's kind of saying that maybe that story fits with what he's talking about here. Or not.
Exactly. No, exactly. And as we move on, it'll kind of like, it'll basically touch on every story. If you have an opinion, we're going to get into it. It's like, we'll touch on it in a second. I mean, he goes on to say that they may not be aliens as we understand them and are linked to consciousness or can master consciousness, which is a greater reality we haven't learned to tap into. That's like the remote viewing, the psychic stuff, like that there's some sort of consciousness grid system or AI or something that's like superior to physical reality. Or I mean, that's every single one of these bullet points is an entire show. So it's gonna be tough to kind of, we're probably not going to get through all of these, but let's keep going. That these others are parasitical and that they feed off human conflict and negativity. Now, we've heard that before, right? That's
the
commonly
Archons
associated.
That's the Archons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That they've inspired world religions. Speaking of Archons, they've inspired world religions for the purpose of dividing us. That the aliens, they're the ones that have. It's their fault. It's their fault.
That sounds convenient.
Kind of the narrative.
That sounds awfully convenient.
Yeah. Right. And so last show, which was like 2 weeks ago, was supposed to be like 3 days ago, I guess. But we were talking about Tom DeLonge with the benefit of the doubt. So today, at least I'm going to take the position that, well, what if it's bullshit, right? And that's what my next episode is about. Not specifically Tom DeLonge, but just the kind of the setup for this potential lie, and that this lie, if it is, it may be true, or it may be partially true, right? but this lie has been set up for a long time. And Warner von Braun, he was like basically a Nazi paperclip. We absorbed him after World War II into our program, and he ran shit like at NASA. He would always say that there's going to be all these false flags, and the greatest one to keep our industrial military complex going was the alien invasion. And this is the exact rhetoric that matches up with that. So let's keep, but I do believe there is truth here. There probably are bad guys, and this is probably true, but it probably also doesn't reflect like the greater narrative. So, that they've done some more points that they've done so by posing as gods. This is inspiring the religions and providing religious messages from the heavens. Well, that's a controversial one. They can also implant visions and ideas directly into our minds. Mantis people, telepathy is real, and the universe is essentially what we might best term magical. That's that greater AI grid. The people in charge of the cover-up believe that the world religion scriptures are based on real events involving the others manipulating us to create belief systems, and that they have competing belief systems, and that these are implemented to divide us and keep us at war so they could feed off of us. I mean, this is some gnarly shit. And that the state of human society is fundamentally unnatural and is the product of persistent manipulation. It's all their fault.
It's all their fault.
You've done nothing wrong.
You've done nothing wrong. I don't know about that. I know some people that have, got some pretty smelly feet or whatever. I mean, there's some shit there. No, there's some shit there the aliens aren't responsible for. We can't blame them for everything. No, come on.
Mike, it's the aliens. No. We need to go to war with the freaking aliens, okay?
All right.
Taxes, they're making the frogs gay. It's just we need to go to war with them.
You have to have your shirt off and be shouting to bring that up. All right. Now hold on. So let's do that. Now so I think the thing that as you guys know, like I have a problem with the threat narrative of aliens, right? Because just thinking in terms of technology, if we haven't reverse engineered their technology, like Bob Lazar said, like, Tom DeLonge has claimed, then we have a problem. We have a technology problem. And so we can't really fight aliens, in my opinion. Like, we're going to get our asses beat, right? Beat. Not even in the same ballpark type competition. That's the thing that bothers me the most. And so what I see here, and I've said this a lot, I'll continue to say this until I see something. Again, I'm not an ideologue. I'm not a paid shill. I don't do those things. I listen to the evidence and I make up my mind as we go. If new evidence comes along that changes my mind, then I change my mind, right? Whether you hate that or not, fine. But here we go. Let's just play clip 1 from the Joe Rogan podcast and talking about threats, all right? About how aliens are a threat. Let's just play this first clip and then we'll kind of frame it with all the wackadoodle shit you just said. I mean, maybe it's all real, right? And that's what we're here to talk about. Like if Tom DeLonge's world is real, we're probably in for a world of hurt. So here we go. Clip 1, Joe Rogan podcast, talking to Tom DeLonge. Let's hear what they have to say.
So you're obsessed with UFOs, right? Is that safe to say?
It's safe to say, but it's not so much just the UFO itself. I mean, I don't call them that anymore. We call these advanced aerial threats. They're different. But
threats?
You honed in on a word we weren't supposed to really get into here in the first part of the show.
Did you have a plan?
I have a very long plan, detailed plan. We're going to start with my body. We're just going to talk about my body for a lot. And
okay, what do you want to talk about when it comes to your body?
Well, my body is interesting. It's unique.
Okay.
And it changes shape. And what I've noticed is it's just changing.
Yeah, it's getting larger.
Larger, getting wider.
Depending upon what you put in it.
But you're all. Can I cuss?
Yeah, for sure. We're on the internet.
You're so fucking fit. You shook my hand. I think you're going to break my hand.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just don't be strong.
I didn't mean to.
Don't be so handsome.
I was just shaking
your
hand. Just thought it was a handshake.
I know. Well, it's one of those power moves. You ever see when Trump shakes people's hands and he pulls them in?
It's getting
kind of erotic. He does do weird shit.
He does weird shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I just meant to shake your hand like a man.
Well, I took it as like, know your place, motherfucker.
Oh,
this is my show.
I didn't think that.
No, I'm just joking.
Interesting. So. When did you get obsessed with this aerial threat thing? And why do you call them threats?
We'll get into that, I guess.
Okay.
But I got into it when I was in junior high. But for some weird reason, I had like some time off and I went to the school library in like 7th grade, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna read some boring shit. What am I gonna read? And I saw this one book, and it had a picture of the Loch Ness Monster and like a UFO. I'm all, that looks cool. And I read that, and I was like, holy cow, these are like real. It wasn't all science fiction. I mean, the way the book was laid out, I was like, these are like real events. I'm all, there's no way, really. And then when the band started doing its thing in the back of the van, there were no like smartphones, so we were buying books, and I would just lay there. We'd have like 20-hour drives, and so I started buying books on the UFO phenomenon. And I was, once you do that, it's a black hole. You're done.
There you go. So okay, so many of the things Tom DeLonge professes to know comes from books, right? And I'm not going to shit on the knowledge. Knowledge is good. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you get the knowledge from. Knowledge is always good. Okay, reading books is good, and so that's where he claims to have really began learning about what's really happening in the world, right? So what's up? Millie says Oumuamua, maybe. We talked about Oumuamua for a very long time there when it was kind of coming and going, and yeah. There
was an article recently about that it was a probe, that they think it's a probe. So when I was saying that the rhetoric for alien stuff is ramping up, that's one of the things that that's a recent article within the last month that they were saying that. That may have been something. And here we go. Actually, I will drop the link.
Okay, all right. Oumuamua is long gone though. We're not going to catch that sucker. A couple shout-outs. What's up, Dr. Harold Shipman? What's up, buddy? Invite David Icke. If only David Icke knew who we were. If you have a contact, please get us. Hook us up. Let us know, because I'd love to have David Icke on the show. That would be amazing. Let's see. Bailey says it's the Archons. Yes, it is. I stole your line. It's the Archons. Let's see. Juki Holic on Twitch. What's up? Says, no, movies taught me otherwise. Humans will win. Yeah, right? Yeah. Like I said, we have a technology issue. We got a problem, right? So if it's a technology problem, we have a problem. If it's a spirituality problem, which has been speculated between aliens and humans, and part of the, what would you say, the the Cold War between aliens and people, revolves around consciousness. And I think Tom DeLonge gets into that. We'll play some of those clips. What's up, Darius? I see you there on YouTube. Thanks for showing up. Moo. Let's see. Moo is the shapeshift that I saw someone in a weird memory. The spaceship. Oh, sorry, spaceship. I saw someone in. Says Bailey. Oumuamua. Yeah, Oumuamua is the comment. You're good? No, you're good, Millie. You're good, Millie. Okay, so what do you got, Ash? Where we at? What's up, buddy? We're reading some chat. You were going to send me a link. Oh, yeah, I got the link. Hold on. See, too many things to do. Too many damn things to do.
I
thought you had a link. No, you found the Oumuamua link. Oumuamua.
Oh, yeah, I dropped it in chat. It's a YouTube thing. I don't know where the article is, but it's on CBS this morning. Harvard scientists say Oumuamua may be probe sent by alien civilization. Look at that. That's pretty serious. That was November. Oh, this was actually 2018. I'm sorry. This is an old article. Guys.
Yeah, we talked the shit out of this when it happened. Like, we did the elliptical orbit and the thing, and the light sail and the Avi Loeb. We talked about all this crazy stuff. So yeah, anyway, okay. So all right. So here we go. Tom DeLonge starts in this interview with Joe Rogan and says, well, I don't call them UFOs anymore. I call them advanced aerial threats, right? Right? That's a very specific term, isn't it? Advanced aerial threats. All right? That's a problem, right? So if these things are actually threatening us in any way, in any capacity, don't you think that's like Reagan level type, remember Ronald Reagan said, if something's going to bring people together, it's going to be aliens from another world that would unite humanity against it, right? Against the scourge of aliens. Well, Tom DeLonge says they're here. He says these are threats, and we should be aware of them, and we should be skeptical and ready to fight back, I guess. I don't know. It bothers me a little bit. It bothers me. I mean, we got bullets, right? I ain't been indoctrinated with the or sent my shipment of laser plasma guns. Have you? I ain't got that in the mail yet, or seen it at the gun store. So I don't know.
So that's why you got to give the government all your money, Mike, so they can build the. It doesn't seem it doesn't make sense if they're here and they're that advanced, right? If we try to do anything, if we actually, we must be not of a threat. They're either peaceful or we're useful to them. And if we're useful to them, it still means we're not a threat, right? Like if we're a threat, they're going to take care of it. So, it does make sense if the government is trying to deal with this, they are going to view it as a threat. So this, I think anytime the government tries to push a narrative, there's always a hint of truth. Any good liar has like a road of truth along his statement, that they probably do view these things as threats and they're trying to gain the advantage, right? So they go underground and they're trying to secretly develop projects. But we've also seen emails that have leaked where they're talking about our extraterrestrial friends. What I would guess that if there are a lot of advanced civilizations, some of them are friendly and some of them aren't. And so the remote viewers, their narrative is that basically from what all the remote viewings they've done, they've collected all this data that that there are different races and there's some different civilizations, the big boys, kind of like the China and the America of our galaxy, right? Or of our system or nearby. And they're basically in a Cold War. And we're like a third world country, proxy country that like they can use to kind of like fight each other or whatever. And that no group is powerful enough to destroy each other. And they don't really want war. We're not worth it to war over, but we're worth it enough to like do this kind of stuff. And that narrative makes way more sense than this, that there's these aliens and they control us and we need to fight. We need to fight them aliens, right? And like you said, like there's no way. Dr. Stephen Greer talks about this, and you should look up his stuff and you can be the judge on his character. If the technology is this advanced, if the energy levels that we're talking about, that Bob Lazar leaked, these power supplies that have no limit. They were saying they put as much, there was no limit to the load that they could put on this engine. So imagine if you weaponize that. It's game over. We can't even drop nukes anymore because if everyone would just drop nukes. So at some point, a civilization will destroy itself. You just can't. So maybe that's it just doesn't make sense, right? Like that we're gonna go fight the aliens.
No, like exactly. So in like an actual physical war, I mean, again, right? Like the problem I have, right, is so right, like, not to get political again and bring it back to that, drag it into that, but we're talking about, okay, so if we're literally spending an unbelievable amount on our military now, like how much more do we need to spend to fight off the aliens, right? Like it's literally like a limitless amount. And so you see from my perspective and the way I see it when they talk about aerial threats and UFOs and these types of things is that it seems like it might be like like a government psyop where they're like, well, by the way, we'd love to spend more on the military, but we can't because China is only so much of a threat and Russia is only so much of a threat. But holy shit, can you imagine how much we could spend on the military? How many dollars we could print and pump into the military industrial complex if UFOs were a threat? You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure the argument there is sound as fuck. But, it relies on the fact that this is fabricated. And I'm not so sure that's the case. So that's really where we're at and what we're talking about. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, maybe this is the right path forward. Like maybe we need to develop ourselves as a species and the ability to defend ourselves, right? We can't just roll over if something happens. But this is the problem. The government is not going to give us the whole picture. So we can't really make a good decision. And that's the problem. We'll never have the full picture. What did that military guy say? And I have this in my episode. We spent $90 billion chasing like 40 people in Iraq.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
that doesn't surprise me. And we do it again for 5 people. That's what I mean. It never ends. So that's my point. So how many trillions will we spend chasing UFOs? That Scully here says, "What's up, Scully?" In a Facebook chat, how can one confront or defend from something that skips through dimensions and interdimensional portals? You can't. You fucking can't until you can do the same thing, right? You can't. And that's my point, right? So again, it drives me a little bit batshit insane when we hear that this is a threat. Again, and I'm not giving up. I'm telling you guys, I'm on your fucking side. And if we got to go down the dirty way, swinging, I'm swinging, right? I'm locked and loaded. Let's do this. I'm not excited for that fact, but I'm not going to go down like a punk bitch. I'm on your side, and you want me on your side, okay? But I'm not thrilled about that aspect. So, you know what I mean? Because we still go down either way, fighting or not. That's what I'm saying here. That's kind of the point, right? So I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not thrilled that we're talking about UFOs as threats. I'm not thrilled about that. So yeah.
But like I said before, it's like maybe the right thing is to develop into space and release these technologies and help civilization advance our quality of life, clean the planet. There's a lot of pros to this, but is this the right path to move forward? And they treat us like we're children that we can't make a decision. And God knows who knows what the hell is going on behind closed doors. And you hear rumors that they're building these underground bases, right, to combat the others. It's almost like I heard the narrative. They are guilty of they basically are a breakaway civilization. They've had this technology, they've had all this stuff, these underground bases, and they use the potential threat of aliens, which might have been real or not, to break away. And then they develop these technologies, and they've had this shit for so long, and it trickles into our life through the iPhone, whatever. But they've had it so long, they've kind of broken away, and they're basically have been the power of the planet, the most powerful people on the planet, and in the shadows. And you don't think they abused their power? You don't think they did criminal stuff? It might be why the secrecy hasn't come out, because they have to wait for those people to die that committed those crimes back in the 50s. You know what I mean? If you start looking at it from that perspective, like, oh shit, we need to get this information out, but we don't want to get caught being the bad guys. This is exactly how they would do it, through some random ass rock star and just leak stuff out until everyone's caught out. Because if they officially came out and had to make an announcement, then you can ask them questions. Well, what did you do all this time? What's going on in those underground bases? And they don't want to answer questions like that. So, I really believe that they are going for a certain type of disclosure that benefits them. So I mean, what do you guys think?
I got to get a comment.
Leave
here.
it.
So John says on Facebook, I watched a podcast about consciousness the other day, and they think the thing that makes us so interesting to alien species is that we can affect the probability wave with our consciousness by observing things. Well, that's the observer effect, right? So we can prove. Remember, we talked about this in the past, the double slit experiment and the dual wave. Particle wave duality? I don't know the exact term. It's something like that, right? So where if you observe it, it reacts.
The double slit experiment.
Yeah. It reacts as a particle, but if you don't, it reacts as a wave. And these are tiny freaking things. And so that's the observer effect, right? So maybe there's something to that universally that we don't even understand about ourselves yet. I can buy that. Those are the things and again, aliens being interested in our consciousness we've talked about. Anyway, back to the Tom DeLonge and his threats, right? I don't know. Okay, how about this? How comfortable do you feel knowing Tom DeLonge says he doesn't speculate anymore? He knows this shit's a threat. And standing between us and this threat is Tom DeLonge and his band of Hardy Boys, right? The heart. What's up? You know who I'm talking to on Twitter. You know what I mean? The Nimitz Hardy Boys. You know what I'm saying? Really? This is where we're at? This is what pisses me off the most. Okay, anyway, Larry says they want our precious bodily fluids. Joe says maybe they can run the timelines and keep us from screwing up. I hope that's the case. Maybe it's us from the future, right? Who else? We got, let's see. Let's see. John says something about us observing things that F's stuff up. What's up, Robert? Says we will get our asses handed to us, but we will go down fighting. Damn right. Damn right. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Scully says, definitely interested in our consciousness. Facts. There we go. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay, so anyway, we got some more Tom DeLonge clips here. Anything you want to smash in before we play some more of this?
Yeah, let's. Do you mind if I go through some of these more of these points?
Yeah, do it.
Because they cross-reference a lot of what we've talked about and what a lot of you guys have said. Are some of his claims. So let's get through a few of these, and then this. So this Reddit post is kind of like straight. This is a really good post. Did you link it in the chat, Mike?
Right now,
did, right?
It is in the chat right fucking now. The second you said it, it was happening. I'm a professional, bro. Beautiful. I've been doing this. All right, go ahead.
Bro, our consciousnesses we're collapsing.
We're linked.
In the
it's
slit
linked
with the wave. Yeah, it's.
Wait, are you saying Are you saying as an alien you got dual slits?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
All right, go ahead.
I'm being politically, and I can not confirm or deny about my slits. Okay.
All right. Okay.
So,
go ahead. All right. Go ahead.
All right. So the people in charge of the cover up. Yep. That they've been just trying to help humanity. So this is what we're saying. Let's fucking fight the aliens, right? They claim that human civilization has risen and fallen in cycles that go way back longer than we currently accept. And it's likely that these cycles have been initiated by these ET visitors. So they have reset us in the past. Whoop. Fuck this. Don't like this version. Don't like this season. We need to make them more aggressive or more interesting or less aggressive, that we maybe we are just a resource. This is kind of like the picture they're painting. And I thought about Neanderthal was around, and then suddenly there was a transitionary period, and then we were the dominant life form, and they assumed that it was us, right? Well, who's to say that wasn't a reset? And they updated their human product. They changed it. And they were claiming that they've manipulated us in the past. So anyway, crazy stuff. Let's keep going. A few more things, and then we'll get into the clips. His advisors considered the possibility that Atlantis may have existed. I mean, why not? Fucking anything, right? Bermuda Triangle, let's do Atlantis now. That this is one of the high points of one of these cycles when humans have developed expanded consciousness or technology that allowed them to become aware of the others and repel them. And then, we all know about the flood that came supposedly afterwards. And that Atlantis was destroyed by them with the flood. The others desire to keep us enslaved and unconscious. The greatest threat is human consciousness and spiritual awakening. Mankind united against them. Well, I mean, we're talking about we're not much of a threat to them. The abduction phenomenon is real. Abduction events involve telepathic manipulation and implanting of ideas by the others, as well as genetic manipulation. And then they basically kind of. I'm just going to cherry pick some of these because a lot of this is just painting them as bad guys. Humans have souls; the others don't. They are akin to a hive mind. They're interested in our DNA and its influence connecting to the cosmic source or space god. That his advisors told Tom how it is that if the ETs that don't exist in our dimension, they can create craft that looks like it's here. And he says he reads that he gets the answer straight from the source, from the who's know. And there's a ton of these. They talk about the Cuban Missile Crisis, UFO crashes, Roswell, all this kind of stuff.
And that's just in these clips. If you guys haven't seen these things, again, he did a lengthy interview with Jimmy Church. We talked about that and played a lot of those clips the last show. We're going to kind of lean on the Joe Rogan interview he did. And again, these are 2016 when he did Jimmy Church before the election. They didn't know Trump was going to be president. Not that it matters, but you know what I mean. It was an election season then. 2017 they did the Joe Rogan episode, which is what we're talking about now. So. There's a ton of information here. Do you have that list? You probably don't. Here we go. Let's play some clips here. So Tom DeLonge continues. He tells a story about how he was contacted. So he actually reached out to some people trying to make some things happen with the government, right? Realizing that he read all these books while in the back of a van touring with Blink 187 or whatever the band was called, that they ended up, he ended up knowing a lot more about UFOs than everybody else, right? And I say that as a dick because that's probably not a nice way to say it, but you know what I mean. Like it's like, okay, so suddenly this is the guy that knows more about UFOs because he's read more books than you. You know what I mean? And so we have a problem here, don't we? Because those books are available to everybody, aren't they? Anyway, all right. So here we go. Let's go. Let's play some clips here, and let's go with what Tom DeLonge thinks. And a lot of the stuff from the Reddit thread came from these interviews and his books and everything else. So here we go. Let's play this clip. We're going to play this randomly, and then we'll just roll with that.
All these people are just coming up with a bunch of bullshit to say, oh, they don't want us to know, or we can't handle it, or it's all about oil and money and all this weird shit.
But you would put these pieces together independently.
I did.
And
so
based on books that you read?
Yeah, people think that like places like the CIA and the DIA, all these intelligence organizations have, a monopoly on information. They don't. They get their information from the real world too. They do have access to archives of information. They do have access to some amazing, satellite data and stuff like that. But if you're smart and you take your time, you know where to look and you find patterns, you can pretty much put together all the same shit they can, kind of, and that's what I did. And so when I pitched what I wanted to do, he said, come up and meet me tomorrow. And so I flew up to NASA, actually, NASA Ames, and had a 2-hour meeting there. And after 2 hours, that person says, he looks me in the eyes, I'm going to introduce you to someone else. And he did. And so I got on the phone with this person, and this person, goes, I'm a skeptic. And then at the end of the conversation, he goes, fly out and see me. And so I did. And that's when things really started happening. So I fly out to this airport, and I sit at a table in a restaurant at the airport. No one's in there. And this gentleman sits down, and the waiter comes up. He waves off the waiter, and he looks me in the eye and says, it was the Cold War, and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants, because I know a lot about this stuff, but you always wait to talk to somebody that is one of the inside people. You always want to have...
So he sits down at a restaurant with you at the airport and tells you that they found a life form.
Yes. And
during the Cold War?
During the Cold War, and everything that they did and every decision they made at the time was because of the consciousness of the Cold War.
And why has this guy decided to meet with you at an airport?
Because the only way you meet with these people, the only way you ever would have anyone talk to you is if you can provide a service that they need.
Okay, there you go, right? So kind of perfectly in line with what I was saying there. So he's somehow got their attention by being able to provide this service, which, again, this interview is from 2017, right? So we're, through the shit show that is 2020. And so what service has he provided the government that has been so, I don't know, like compelling to them to make them, employ Tom DeLonge as your UFO man in black type of situation, right? I don't know, like weird stuff, right? There's some weird shit here. There's some cognitive dissonance for me. I'm not going to lie. But okay, so anything he said there, comments on that? I can play the next clip here on exactly what he's talking about to finish this up. But what do you think about that, Ash? He knocks on the door. They're like, all right, well, he says, I got a service I can provide. We can make some movies and write some books, right? And they're like, holy shit, man, we never thought of that. You see what I'm saying? There's some problems here. I got some problems with that. Go ahead.
My name's Tom DeLonge. I'm here, and I'm unskeptical, not too bright, excited. I have connections to the media, and I'm ready to push whatever propaganda you want to do, and I'm going to do it for free. What do you think?
Did I mention I have?
Oh, okay.
I have 3 million followers on Twitter, by the way. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Again, okay. Here we go. So here again, in Tom DeLonge's words. Now we're going against our word and we're shitting on the man, and we're not supposed to do that. But here we go. The next part of that exact thing. Like, there's a lot here that doesn't make sense, right? Here, actually, I'm going to read this from the chat. John says, Joshua, what's up? Thanks for showing up. Says Tom DeLonge is a deep state puppet. There you go. Right? Here we go. Part 2 of exactly what he was just talking about. Somebody sat him down at a table in a public place and told him to his face, without the skiffs, the fuzzy noise in the air, or burning the papers after they said the things, or passed the notes or the secret notes or any of this shit, right? They just sat the dude down in a public place and said, "Yo, bro, those aliens in the Cold War, we found an entity." And then it continues as such.
Sure. You said that you were able to put things together that other people weren't. What are those things?
Essentially, it's the book Secret Machines, where you have a lot of private finance, you have some world bankers, and you have a lot of people internationally working together to figure out a plan of how to push back against something that's been coming here for a very long time, but using off the books finances and using mechanisms that we're not totally aware exist. And what people have to realize is, the UFO phenomenon isn't a phenomenon. There's the universe is fucking gigantic, and there's life everywhere, every fucking where, and there's a lot of life that's way more advanced than we are. And just like Voyager left our solar system a little dinky satellite from the 70s, and just like my company is going to be building, this electromagnetic craft that really can do the same thing to time that I've been telling you about. Other civilizations have that too, which means you can traverse those distances of space. And what you have to think about is what happened when we first discovered that, and what did we do about it? And there's no, you got to look at 47 in a very peculiar way. 90 days after the Roswell event, CIA was created, the Air Force was separated from the Army, the National Security Act was created, and all those things are mechanisms to start learning more and to start getting private industry off the ground.
So that had nothing to do with World War II. You think it had to do with aliens?
Oh, I absolutely think it. Well, both, because what I believe crashed at Roswell was, I believe it was German from Argentina, but it had hallmarks and technology based on alien technology. So we put out a story saying it's alien, and then we put out a story saying it's a weather balloon. But the real thing it was, we didn't want anyone to guess, and that's why we put those two things out there. And that's kind of how they do it. I think they did that with the moon. It's like, we went to the moon, and then they put out this meme kind of thing like we didn't go to the moon, but they didn't want people really going, well, what's on the moon? That so these things are managed.
Okay, did you hear what he said there? Talking about the Roswell crash, 1947, Roswell, New Mexico. He just claimed right there that it was a Nazi craft from Argentina, and it was built or reverse engineered or whatever, maybe with partnership of the aliens. It was alien technology. So he's saying it was from an adversary in 1947. And he says it's human technology that we're now using that used to be alien technology. I don't know, right? You see, there's a lot there. Like the guy spins through a bunch of shit super fast and you're like, wait, what? What? I mean, okay, so hold on. I think what's her name? So there's an individual that talked about this in her book on Roswell. We talked about her back in the paperclip episode. It's coming to me. It's Annie. It'll come to me. But anyway, it's been speculated by not just her, other people, that the crash in Roswell was children. Like it was not actually, it was like malformed children or children that were, it was an alien. It was not aliens at all. It was some sort of psyop.
Psyop.
It was, exactly.
Yeah, it was a German psyop where they took tortured, malformed children and basically made them look like aliens, and then crashed it there to kind of like cause confusion and chaos. But like, that is the dumbest answer I've ever heard. And what they do is they'll have like in this area they'll tell this story in this area that they're all lies, right? They're all telling the wrong stuff. But when the story gets out, they know where it came from, so they can narrow it down who had the leak. That's why they do that stuff. And so the person who gave that woman that story was credible, but I believe they were just told the wrong thing. But that's my opinion. Between mutant, fucking deformed, tortured children in a crash by the Germans crashing there. But I mean, who knows? Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true.
Yeah. Okay. So the name of that person I was looking for is Annie Jacobson, and she wrote a book about Roswell, and she actually speculated there was something similar to that in her book. So it makes you wonder, right? So is this the book? Actually, this is a little more modern than probably Tom DeLonge in a van traveling with Blink-182. But what book did he read, right? Philip Corso, The Day Before Roswell. Like, who knows? Like, these are the types of things, right? So he's getting this information from books, from dubious sources even, right? Because not to say that everybody who says UFOs are real is a nut, but of course there's a good batch of them that probably are disinformation agents, people that are have some sort of psychosis. You know what I mean? Like there's a good mix of this, and that fits into the disinformation campaign. And I think even Tom DeLonge has said that what kind of disinformation, and you watch all this stuff yourself. I'll have all the links. But he says in not this interview, maybe the other one, that when you have a bunch of people that say these things, how much is disinformation? And the government agent he's talking to, whoever it is, right, the lab coat or the general, or he can't ever tell you who he's talking to, because he says, if I did, you would shit your pants. That's all he says in response, right? I can't tell you who I was talking to, right? So you're like, oh, so you're talking to the vice president, right? You know what I mean? Like this type of shit. Like, clearly, if he says that, you've heard of them and they're a prominent person. But he was basically saying that these people are telling him that we don't have to do shit for disinformation because the UFO community does it itself, right? And so, kind of in that vein, maybe us, maybe we're controlled assets, right? Hopefully, I'm on the CIA payroll and I'm living the high life on a yacht right now, but I'm fucking not. I'm fucking not. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So it's like, but how many people might be? I doubt it. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Like that's kind of what he said. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so he claimed that the secrecy mechanism for this kind of thing is different than anything else. It's its own system, and that one of the first things they did was they infiltrated the UFO groups and made sure there was like enough propaganda and bullshit in there to discredit them. I see these UFO groups. I'm part of a lot of them, and I'll see like a video compilation of UFOs, right? And there'll be like 10 of them. And 8 of them are dumb. They're like obviously fake. They're terrible. But 2 of them I think might be real. And that's how you do it. You don't challenge the source material, because then you do the Barbra Streisand effect, right? You know this Barbra Streisand effect?
Yeah.
Something came out about Barbra Streisand, and then they try to hush it up and censor it, and then that made more people interested in it, right? So it's the same thing with the UFOs. Instead of doing that, all you got to do is discredit it. All you got to do is pump out shitty videos,
some bullshit,
create fake accounts,
you pump up other bullshit, you clickbait it, you get into the algorithms, which you are in cahoots with, because these motherfuckers with the technocrats, like, they lie and say that no, our algorithms don't actually push things that we want you to see. It's all based on watch time and metrics, right? No fucking bullshit. I've said this 100 times, I'll say it 1,000 times. Go to YouTube and hit the trending tab and tell me why Beyonce has like 6 billion views and she's trending, but then some knucklehead has like 8,000 views and he's trending too. You know what I mean? No, it's not all algorithms, or the shit would be linear, right? It would be linear. It would literally be based on metrics and watch time and all the crap they say it is. It would be easy to spot. But because it doesn't make sense, there's some other nefarious shit going on. So yeah, anyway, there you go. There's my kick the dirt on the technocrats for the day.
Hey man, we need more of that. That's my main, politically, that's kind of like my main concern, is that they get in bed with one party or the other, and then nothing happens, and they continue to gain the powers that they do, and eventually they just, they align themselves and lock everything down, and that's it. And you can't get your information anywhere. And once the government starts cooperating with them, which they already are to some degree, let's be honest, especially our intelligence agencies, you can't get a hold of anything. So if this is the greatest secret of mankind, and they've managed to keep it this long, there's some sort of, then this is what I say. I think Tom DeLonge has truthful evidence. He does, but he also has probably bullshit. And you know, how do you tell the difference? How do you tell? You can't.
You can't. We can't. We can't. And he weaves in and out of the truth, right? So he's like, well, I think this, but I know that. I think this, but I know that. But I can't really tell you who told me these things because then, right, then I'm a national security risk and they'll come arrest me. So I can't tell you my source, even though he says basically most of his source is open source and he read a bunch of books. And that's what got him in the inside. I mean, no, yeah. Anyway, okay, there's more clips to play, more from that Reddit thread. There's a ton of shit here. What's up? LOLFR on YouTube says, question, would this talk show have a possible email for inquiries to drop reasonable background stories from your audience to you, one-on-one without public ridicule, and protect the identity? Troubled Minds at Proton Mail. As far as I'm aware, it's not CIA. Proton Mail. It's the way you.
What the hell is Proton Mail? What is,
are you
what
serious?
Is that Proton Mail?
Are you serious?
That's a great name.
Proton Mail.
Name.
Okay,
Proton Mail.
so Google and Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of these guys, they're working with the CIA, right? There's no doubt. Maybe not the CIA. Let's say the NSA, whoever it is, right? Whatever three-letter agency you think it is. Operation Mockingbird. If you don't believe me, just rewind the last year and watch the media deluge of bullshit that the media is in the pocket of the government. They do it. Proton Mail doesn't serve ads. They don't. Again, I can't guarantee they're not CIA, but Proton Mail apparently is the way that journalists dodge that. So anyway, Troubled Minds at Proton Mail. If you don't think Proton Mail is a thing, tell me, because I don't know. Again, I don't know. Bailey says Proton Mail is dope, but their support sucks. There you go. There you go. Send it through Proton Mail. Give me a fake name. We can read your story on the air or whatever. Or if you want to be on with an anonymous name, we do that for people too. So we will not divulge your identity, especially if you don't give it to me. That's the best way, right? So don't tell me who you really are, and we'll never divulge your identity. Proton Mail. Anyway, so go ahead. Go ahead, Ash. Where are we at, buddy? I'm all fucked up here. I'm confused. So we got aerial threats, we got the government, we got the Pentagon, we got Tom DeLonge playing guitars, reading UFO books in the back of a van when they're. I'm confused, right? Yeah. Again, I'm confused. Like, is this a threat? Is this not a threat? Okay, now let me frame it this way, and this is important. This is critically important. I don't think anybody here that's ever listened to this show doesn't believe UFOs exist. Like, you're not here for the lulz, right? Well, you might be a troll, hang out for 10 seconds and bounce with your TikTok, or sorry, TikTok. See what I did there? TikTok attention span. But if you're here listening, you believe UFOs exist. I do too. Okay. How to quantify them? I don't know. All right. And that's the thing. That's the conversation. That's why we do the show. But Tom DeLonge, he's kind of telling us what it is, right? Again, the threats. I don't know. Whatever. I just get mad. I get mad. I get mad. I lose my train of thought. I just get mad.
I was like, wow, yeah, keep going, Mike. Yeah, you're on a roll, and then you're like, you just
fuck. I get so fucking mad. I get so, that's why though, right? Anyway, go ahead.
That's funny.
Go ahead. It's true.
So
I'm human.
So no, of course, man. You do a killer job, but it's important that you care, and you're not just you're not in this area, this field, I guess, just regurgitating BS and just trying to like pass on some information and get a buck. We're trying to figure it out with you guys. We're just two knuckleheads on the internet presenting some stuff, and like Mike always says, it's about you. Call in, guys. Let's. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So would Mike. But I will say here's some new information. So we'll keep moving forward with some of this information. What Tom DeLonge's saying, we can bounce back and forth between the Reddit posts and his videos.
I got some clips to play too. So yeah, if you got no point, I'll just smash a clip and we can talk. You tell me.
Well, we could tangent to the alien false flag. I did want to announce something that is not in my video yet. I'm trying to get it in. The remote viewers. Okay, so this potentially is really important. The remote viewers, they've predicted a lot of stuff. That's what they've been doing month to month. If you haven't heard me ramble on about this, they were predicting things month to month. and they've been coming true. A lot of it's been coming true. Some of it doesn't, but most comes true, which is crazy. Some of it's ambiguous, so it's like, you know, if it came true, like, okay, you could have just guessed, right? Like riots. If you guessed riots for this month, it's like,
Fucking
yeah,
riots.
it's probably a good bet. Yeah. I'll put all my money down on riots. Like that shit's gonna happen. But they did remote view that there's gonna be a catastrophe, and I don't know what the scale is, but there's gonna be like a crater, and that there was like a city or an urban area got fucked up, and I don't know what degree, and I don't want to fearmonger. Okay, I just want to put this out there to you, to this audience, so that if it happens, you're like, huh, right? And that's all I'm trying to do. Well, so they said that there's going to be a catastrophe, and that they sensed there was a vehicle in the sky, and they're not claiming it caused it or not, but there's a vehicle in the sky, like a UFO, that was present during this catastrophe. So if there's a catastrophe, like a crater or a meteor hits, or this, maybe this alien false flag happens now, it's the perfect thing to unite the whole country from chaos, right? Left, right. It's exactly the thing. So I'm wondering, Mike, do you want to play my video you linked about the false flag and kind of go into that, or did you kind of want to stick with the Tom DeLonge?
Yeah, let's stick with Tom DeLonge for just a little bit, and we'll get to that in a sec, because we got some time yet. We'll finish up with your video there and kind of round up that narrative. We're talking about Tom DeLonge tonight and what he thinks. Okay, so is there anything else in that Reddit thread you want to kind of touch on? I can just play some clips here from Joe Rogan, but again, right? So there's some weirdness going on with this. It seems Richard Doty style, where they're kind of using, like you said, like a propaganda rube. Like he's super enthusiastic. He'll do it for free. We'll give you some assets, CIA assets. He gets Lou Elizondo. He gets Jim Simovan, who worked for the CIA directly. He gets like disinformation agents in his ranks, and we're supposed to believe that this is the guy. You know what I mean? There's a lot here. I don't know. But I'll play a random clip. Fucking do it. Give me a number between 10 and 20, Ash. We're going to play a clip.
35.
No, that's not between 10 and 20.
12.
Got it.
12.
But trying to figure it out, trying to connect the dots, and looking at debris that they probably still have in a warehouse, going, we have no fucking clue how to make this or back engineer this stuff. I mean, there's a piece of metal from a crash that I've seen, and I've seen the science on it, and it's atomically aligned, and it's layered in like 80 layers within just a few microns of purities of metal that aren't even in our solar system, and they think it needs to be made in an area where there's no gravity. So number one, it has to be made in space. Number two, even if we were to create a machine that can potentially do some of this stuff, 3D printing layers of different metals of obscene purities, it would cost hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. We don't even have that.
Why do they think it was made without gravity?
Because I think it's the atomic structure. So what happens is when you radiate it with terahertz, it loses mass. Something weird. It resonates some kind of harmonic, and then it gets lighter. And if you hit it with enough terahertz, it'll float. So we're going to be showing people this stuff. We're going to be bringing out the hardware, some of the hardware. We're going to be bringing out implants. We're going to be bringing out videos. We're going to be bringing out some other stuff. So you're going to be
showing people this actual physical piece of metal that was constructed in a zero-gravity environment in space, and if you hit it with enough energy, it becomes weightless.
No, I wouldn't say weightless. I don't know if we can make enough energy to do that, but yes, that is our plan. And show the experiment. So
well, if you can't give it enough energy to make it weightless, can you give it enough energy to reduce the mass?
Yes.
So it weighs less?
Yes.
And you can prove this?
Yes, and that's why...
So you can have a scale, and you can put this piece of metal on a scale.
I'll do you better. It's not even that. It's warping the space-time continuum around the object. So you shoot... What you can do is you can shoot an electron over it while it's not being radiated.
A single electron?
And you collect it and time that. And
how do you shoot a single electron?
Fuck if I know. I'm not a physicist. They just do this shit. That's what they do. So, and I was actually on a phone call today about it. I talked for about 45 minutes in the car on the way up here.
Okay, so I'm not going to shit on him about shooting a single electron because I don't fucking know either. I don't know either. How the hell would I shoot a single? I don't fucking know. This gizmo wouldn't do it. That gizmo wouldn't do it. I don't fucking know. Do you know, Ash? No. but you see, right? That was a fantastic pick of the clip there. So he's talking about Art's parts. We did an entire show. This came from Linda Moulton Howe. Art Bell, Linda Moulton Howe, the magnesium, the what was the other thing? There's like I got a whole. We talked for 3 fucking hours about this. I'm telling you, there's something with this. So okay, remember this interview was in 2017, and Joe Rogan was like, so you can prove this. You can take this piece of whatever it is, and you can shoot some energy at it, some terahertz, and this thing will become not weightless, but it will lose its own mass. Right? It'll lose mass. And as a result, right, that's exotic propulsion, right? Is it not? I think that's what it is. I don't know.
I mean, we mentioned that he's definitely got to have some truth if he's got to have some insiders. I think this is true. I think this is one of those things that it would make sense that they're trying to come public because there's some of this technology they haven't figured out yet, and they need the investment of the planet, of the scientific community, right, to figure these things out. So how do you come out with causing the least amount of ruckus? Well, you come out through Tom DeLonge. It's no one's going to take it that seriously, and you only need a little bit to take it seriously to kind of get it done, right? And then you can kind of hush it up again. So maybe that's the reason they picked Tom DeLonge, is to kind of like it's an auto discredit. It's like some rock band member. Yeah, but yeah, I would say that the back engineering of technology has happened. There's so many stories of it. They're called alien reproduction vehicles, ARVs, and these ARVs supposedly exist between the TR-3B black triangle that people see, and just some other UFOs that we've kind of mimicked their design. And there's like supposed leaks of how they work, and what else is there? Documents and blueprints and patents and all kinds of a trail to kind of follow this type of thing. I think it's true. I think they do have stuff, and they've officially since then have somewhat officially like come out and admitted it too. So, I don't think when there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Yeah, and that's part of the problem here. So again, like as much as I hate the threat narrative and like the military industrial complex, maybe they're not really related at all, and I'm sticking them together in my head. Maybe the fallacy is mine, right? Again, I'm open to be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. It's how we do this, right? If you do it right, you're willing to be wrong, but you have to like use your knowledge of your life up to this point to be skeptical of things. So. You know what I mean? So that's why, fine. Maybe Tom DeLonge knows it all and I know nothing. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to go jump off a cliff tomorrow if that's the case. You see what I'm saying? I don't care. Like, I do, because if he's right, we're fucked. Right, we're fucked. So I care a little bit because I don't want to be fucked. I don't want us collectively to be fucked. But yeah. So anyway, so he's got, so again, I've got some good comments here and I'm going to read some of these. Okay. So, what's up? Let's see. John wants to know, did he ever show this experiment? And I think, again, so this interview was in 2017, and he, as far as I'm aware, has not shown or proved this experiment yet. And so that's the thing, right? So we're 3 years later, shit show 2020, sure, fine, and blame everything among COVID, blah, blah, just like my internet, just like the election, just like everything, right? Everything we can blame on COVID, including, well, this is why Tom DeLonge and his buddies haven't shown us this shit yet. All right, I'm going to just use that as the excuse. Let's see. Millie says, I've heard that's possible to move large, heavy things with tons of sound. And I've heard that too, right? Some levitation, and they say that for the pyramids and some other things, right? I've heard that before, right? With enough terahertz and, but you need the actual proper, physical composition of the thing, right? Like, anyway, so, Okay, so let's pick another clip here from. Let's do that. That was a great random one. Let's actually play 13. After that, we're going to pick another random clip that Ash is going to guess, because this is probably the best way to do this, because we're surprised, because there's a ton of stuff we know about Tom DeLonge. We've talked about it we've seen these interviews, and so picking these things is a little bit more fun when we do it randomly. So clip 13, and let's play this, and then after that we'll play some random shit, and then we'll finish up with Ash's theory about what may be actually going on down here. So let's go. Clip 13, Tom DeLonge talking about, well, he just talked about terahertz and levitating things and items losing mass and things being built in the vacuum of space. Art's Parts. Part 13. Joe Rogan, Tom DeLonge action.
Saying they're launching a single electron at this thing?
I think that's what they do, yeah. They do that with photons too, by the way. I read a really cool study about single photons, and consciousness was interacting with it. Just by thinking, it was changing the way the photon went. It's crazy. So what happens is you shoot this electron, and you know how fast it is to travel over this piece of metal. Then you radiate it with terahertz, and then
what does that mean? Radiate it with terahertz.
You're electrifying and charging the piece of material.
Do you know what's a terahertz?
It's a high frequency wave. I don't want to pretend I know that much about it. I just know that the earlier tests were with radio waves like RF. And they need to do terahertz, so I don't know much more than that. So by shooting terahertz at it, the piece of metal can lose mass, and then when you shoot an electron over it, it'll be a different time than the other one when it's not turned on. Does that make sense?
No.
The time it takes for an electron to go over the piece of metal.
What's that, Jamie?
This is why I type in terahertz imaging.
Laser guided codes, advanced single pixel terahertz imagery. And this B, the image is sampled upon instructions from a laser. A, the terahertz light passes through the object. And then C, the information is collected to reconstruct the image.
Look at that. So with this stuff,
it's just an imaging technology.
But you're timing how fast it takes an electron to move over the surface of the metal. Then you charge the metal, and then you're timing the exact same thing, and there will be different times. And the positive result is that it lost mass, so it traveled faster or slower or whatever the hell is supposed to happen.
And so I would imagine that this piece of metal, if it exists, would be kind of game over. If you brought this piece of metal to the most advanced scientists in metallurgy or whatever they would be that would understand this kind of shit.
Yeah, and it's already been there, but the problem is
there anywhere online where people can read about this?
There actually is. There's some of this stuff, not this piece in particular. They came out as Art's Parts on Art's Bell a long time ago, and they're different layers of bismuth and magnesium.
That's it, bismuth and magnesium. Art's Parts. We did an entire show on that. I'll link it. I literally went through, okay, so Art's Parts, Linda Moulton Howe has had these parts for decades. All right? Decades. Literally, maybe decades is exaggerating. Maybe 20 years. All right? Let's say, barely 18, 20 years, something like that. But she's had these parts that are traced to Art Bell through a source. We went through all of this. I'll link it. Listen, it's important. It's important to know where these things come from, because now Tom DeLonge, it seems like, I don't know, like he's sourcing it. He's like, hey, supposedly Art's Parts, this is a piece of this bismuth magnesium that was snapped off a piece of the wreckage at Roswell. And so they're able to blast it with terahertz and it loses mass, right? There's a thing here. I don't know. Ash, save me, brother. I'm getting irritated.
I'm getting grumpy, Mike. Getting grumpy. Yeah, there's some good comments here. Miley says, I've heard that's possible to move large, heavy things with tones of sound. It's like the Egyptian blocks, right? The technology behind there, and supposedly. John says, remember how the opening of the Fiddler on the Roof went Tom DeLonge is our Fiddler on the Roof. That's it. That's
Boo.
right.
Boo.
Sam says, my brain hurts. Larry was saying harmonics. Back to the silent technology. Millie. I like the very beginning when he said you can change it by thinking. That is something we would like to get your show. You should get your show into. Definitely consciousness and the technology. It's a really deep subject, and it doesn't make sense as far as like what you perceive every day. Like, so it's kind of like we have kind of touched on that in the past. I've done some shows with Mike. Mike's done some shows on his own. I have a couple YouTube videos, and I have a few theories on it, but I'm still kind of heavily researching that subject. But I will say they did do an experiment. There's a slit experiment, right, which you guys know about, which is basically that everything's kind of a wave, and then when you observe it, it collapses into a
particle. Particle wave duality.
Right?
Particle wave duality. I finally got it. My brain snapped in. I'm rusty. Particle wave duality. Yeah.
You sound smart, Mike. You all of a sudden sound smart.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Weird.
And now I picture you with like glasses.
Weird. Let me get my glasses. Hold up.
And your lab coat,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So they did that experiment, and it's basically like the universe is saving memory, right? It's saving memory until your consciousness observes it. Meaning, this is here for your consciousness. This simulation, whatever it is that's one of the woo interpretations. Apparently, there's like a more realistic interpretation of it. Whatever. Well, so they tried this new experiment. It's not new, but you should look it up. Where they found that if people could affect the slit experiment, meaning it had a spectrum.
The observer effect. It's the observer effect.
Right, the observer effect. But the observer effect can dial up and down depending on like your consciousness. Like basically you can have more of effect on it or less of an effect. So it wasn't just true or false or Boolean. It's literally a slider. And they found if you meditated, you could have higher results. Like with a clear consciousness, you could affect it more. And then what they try to do is they tried to outsource this project to people online. So like, let's say the experiment's in America. Well, the person would try to do it in Russia. Well, they found no correlation in the data to distance. Distance had no effect on it was not a variable. Meaning consciousness, at least at that short of a distance, it had no lag. That your consciousness could affect a particle instantly on the other side of the planet. And that's what the remote viewers find, is that you can go anywhere in the galaxy and in the universe instantaneously and access a data point. So anyway, going down a rabbit hole here, some crazy consciousness stuff. So great comment, and thanks for giving me a chance to rant about that stuff.
Ranting away. Bailey wants to know, where do you find these remote viewers, Ash, the reptilian from Mars? I said farsight.org. I think that's the source, right? It's what's the name? I can't remember. I can never remember that. Courtney Brown. I got it. Courtney Brown. And the farsight.org. And they have a YouTube channel and they have a website and they release content. Some of it is behind a paywall, but most of the good, there's definitely quite a bit to consume there. And, yeah, most of their content was observing the past, but they've been observing the future. So if you observe a mystery and you can't prove whether you're true or not, it doesn't validate the freaking technique, right? But now they've been predicting the future, and the more they get it right, eventually it becomes undeniable. I don't think it's quite there at undeniable, but it's definitely should pique your interest, and it's piqued interest of investors because investors actually go to them to get investment guesses, right? If you're going to drop $1 million on something, why not spend a couple extra grand to get some remote viewers to, just get, whether it's true or not, if it's 51% true, you have an edge on everyone else on the planet. So anyway, interesting stuff. Check it out. Sorry if you're not interested in that and I keep bringing it up. I'm crazy. So crazy. You're a reptile. You're a reptile. You're allowed. Okay. All right. So let's. Okay. So we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do pick a number between 14 and 20, and we'll play that, and then we'll finish this up with your theory there and your content you got, and we'll do it. But okay, here's the thing, right? So what? It doesn't matter what we think. You know what I think, right? You listen to me. It's hard to be completely objective. And so, I leak out here and I shit on Tom DeLonge there, right? That's what I do. It's just part of being human, right? It's part of being us. Okay, but again, the thing that disturbs me the most about Tom DeLonge is that cognitive dissonance. A lot of the shit he says seems to be legit, but then a lot of the shit he says is also like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? So that I'm in the middle of that and trying to parse it, and that's why I'm so irritated. And I think why we spend a lot of time talking about the things he said and some of his theories. So All right, pick a number 14 and 20, and we'll finish this up.
Oh, I got it. I've been thinking hard about this using my consciousness. You know what's crazy is depending on whether or not I pick 17 or 18, could plant a seed in someone's head that could change their behavior. Like I'm choosing between one timeline or another. See, you got me.
We're spinning off into another timeline with this decision right here.
It's crazy, right?
It's crazy.
If you ever think about that? Like,
Yeah.
I've met people in coffee shops or at conventions, and it's like if I didn't go, I would never have met that person. So, like, sometimes I'll miss a convention or a party. I'm like, did I just like not make my best friend? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty trippy. So I'm a deep thinker, so I get crazy with that. So on that note, I'm going to have to go with door number 18.
18, you got it. Here we go. Tom DeLonge on the Joe Rogan podcast. Let's see what's behind door number 18. Action.
So what he's saying is that there's a gravity wave that's accessible on a really large element that extends beyond the perimeter of the atom. Mm-hmm. And when you bombard that element with one particle, kind of like what we were talking about before, it goes through a tuned tube, like a very tiny miniature CERN. Mm-hmm. CERN's like a big magnet. It holds a particle in a very specific spot. It hovers. It shoots and it hits that. It decays. It becomes this matter-antimatter reaction. These generators can convert all that energy into power, and then they can amplify that wave that's coming off and emanating from that element. And they amplify it like you would amplify a radio wave. Now, there's no wires in the craft because most likely it was 3D printed. We didn't know about 3D printing back then. I've talked to Bob about this, but not just 3D printing, just the materials, but atomically aligning the elements so consciousness and other types of things can move through those materials to operate the craft. It's really tricky.
They're operating it without buttons.
Right.
They're operating it. So that was one of the things that he said theoretically, right?
Yeah.
Was that there was handprints and that they were much different shaped hands than ours.
Yeah.
And this craft that he had found inside one of these bays in Area 51, he realized very quickly that it wasn't something that we had created and that it was somehow or another powered through intention.
Yep.
That would go through like touch or feel or put their hands would be on this thing, and consciously you would somehow or another control all the various aspects of this machine.
Exactly.
Boy, it sounds good, doesn't it? God, I want to believe. So hard.
Well, I hope you do, because there's going to be a lot of stuff.
Well, I want to know what you've seen though. So you've seen this piece of metal. What else have you seen?
I've seen many documents on the studies of these things, and I've seen a lot of the science associated with what the technology is and what it does. Like I could show you if I fold up pieces of paper and stuff what's going on with it, but basically, these craft, they travel in a straight line, but they're folding space-time.
Like in.
Yeah, right. So they fold the paper, the space-time, the wormholes. Like, this is not new. This is part of the problem with Tom DeLonge I have, right? So a lot of the shit he says is not new. Like, this is like Einstein wormhole type physics, right? It's speculation. It's, probably true. But I just get so mad. You guys are going to have to forgive me, because Tom DeLonge.
Breathe, Mike.
I get triggered so not a lot. I just, you know what I mean? Like, we talk about all kinds of whack shit on this show, and it's rare that I get triggered. But Tom DeLonge is one of my triggers. I just can't help it. I can't help it. We're supposed to be like, this is Tom DeLonge's world, and I'm like, fuck, no, no, it's not like this. This is not the reality we live in. But okay, sorry.
Oh man, you know what's so funny? Okay, all right. I'm reading this Reddit thing. On that note, Mike,
all right,
here's a few more points real quick.
Perfect.
Disclosure and the goal, right? This is from that Reddit post. His advisors want humanity to become aware of the reality of the others. They are not warmongers, and their real motivation, as well as the reason for their cover-up, has been to fight a secret war against the others. If we knew what they'd done in secret and the responsibility that they've borne alone, we would think of them as heroes.
Wait, what? What the fuck? Okay.
I'm trying to get you
I'm
going.
gonna
Mike.
drop my headphones and just walk the fuck off of here. I'm gonna go for a walk in the dark. I'm going down to the park, guys. I'll see you later. No, I mean, like, I mean, right? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of like, okay, cool, yeah, right. But then there's a lot of like, what the fuck is this guy even talking about, right? Like, it's like, okay, so which books has he read that makes him so read in? And he actually goes in these interviews and says that he's not really read in. Like, they don't tell him the actual specific details. He's still leaning on the knowledge from the books that he's read. Right? So you're telling me you can become like literally the UFO expert the government needs by just reading a bunch of books that are publicly available? Again, yeah. All right, let's get to your theory on this, Ash. Now, okay, so there's a Project Bluebeam involvement here, right? So if anybody doesn't know, Project Bluebeam is this. That given that we talk about like we've talked about COVID, right? And we don't say it on this show a lot because when you do, you get taken down. But people have used the term, not us, but other people have used the term plandemic, okay? Meaning that it was not necessarily released by the government as a thing, right? But they had a plan for it in case it did happen. And then when it happened, they enacted the plan. You see? So, and the plan was, notice, how the election was a shit show, right? Again, I pointed out on, not to bring it back to that, but I did point out yesterday on the test stream that Florida has 21 million people and they were done counting their entire fucking state within 6 hours of their polls closing. Nevada, my state, has 3 million population, and a week fucking later, we still don't know what the hell's going on over here. You see? There's some weird shit happening, right? You get that weird paradox. So
breaking news on that. Basically, there was supposedly a glitch in the computer systems.
I saw that.
They have to
I saw that.
That's breaking news. So you guys will know about that tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that before we started. Yeah.
Holy shit! And they have to recount all these counties and all these different swing states. Oh,
anyway, back to Project Bluebeam. Now Bluebeam is this. So just like the other people say, we don't say this because if we do, we'll get taken down on the internet. But other people have said it's a plandemic. Now the point of the aliens and the alien menace and the alien threat is something very much like the plandemic. All right, and that's the way this goes. Now, if the aliens invade, the government is able to enact whatever draconian measures they deem fit. And not only that, people, us, will probably be like, fucking right, let's kill the aliens. And we, right, miss the forest for the trees. And the alien invasion might not be real, but them taking whatever they want to take government-wise is very real. You see? All right. I think that's probably a good setup to where we're headed now. What you got, buddy? What you got? Where are we headed with the thing? Project Bluebeam and yeah. What's up, Benjamin? Thanks for showing up. I see you, Derek, there. Hello, William. They're laughing at us. Millie's laughing at us. Yeah, well, that's okay. I've been laughed at. I've been called worse. That's okay.
They're laughing with us, Mike.
Laughing with us.
All the kids at school laughing at me.
Yeah, laughing with us, or it's something we said. Yeah, no problem. It's okay. Put me in the garbage can.
We're all in on it.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's a joke. We're having a good time.
It's all good. Yeah, what's up, Benjamin? Thanks for showing up. Benjamin from Virginia. Thanks for being here tonight. Yeah, so let's finish up. So Project Bluebeam, what's your theory on that? Meaning that Ronald Reagan said in the 80s that the only thing that would unite humanity is an invasion. I can't say it. An invasion from the aliens elsewhere, and humans would unite. Well, like snap your fucking fingers, and humans would unite. Right? We would give up our freedoms hand over fucking fist. Yeah, go ahead. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, let's roll the few footage. So I putting together a new episode. I slapped some stuff together. We could stop whenever you start to like lose. I don't know if it's too long for us to play quick. Whatever, just stop whenever. But yeah, let's play it. This is from an episode I'm about to come out. Alien False Flags. I have other episodes cooking, but I I wanted to get this one out fast, because if the remote viewers are even half right, and that content is not in this clip. It's coming. I'm cutting it up. Basically, my goal is to kind of like their bold predictions. I'm going to try and make that in a really easy, digestible form for you guys. So you guys can come in, check in. Okay, that's what they say is going to happen. And then it ties into a topic. And then you could just, check out. And then, if they're right, you're going to be surprised right with me, man. Like some of the things that I've heard, they talked about bombings. Remember I mentioned that in a past episode? 3 days later, all these people in Portland were arrested for trying to bomb. So, and the government supposedly has like a Minority Report AI, a crystal ball thing that they're working on, probably in conjunction with Google. I'm sure people in the audience, some of you guys know more about that than I do. But anyway, we're talking about Tom DeLonge and his narrative, right? And his narrative, it just happens to align with this the perfect false flag, problem, reaction, solution, right? We have a bad guy, we need to go to space. Well, we've been warned about this a lot. So let's roll the footage. I put together some of that stuff to present to you guys. And we still have some time for calls too. So give us a call. And check out my YouTube channel and leave some comments. Give me feedback. Please, feedback. I get some bad feedback where like, your voice sucks.
You get some bad feedback. You get some bad... Hey man, we
don't have a lot of comments yet.
We should spend an afternoon. We should spend an afternoon and talk about all the people who said some shit about us. Anyway, here we go. So this is from Ash's channel. It hasn't been released yet. You guys get a preview, but it actually fits into exactly what we're talking about. Is this a false flag alien type invasion, Project Bluebeam style? And does this actually maybe correlate with Tom DeLonge and his expertise? Here we go. Playing this. Action.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? Ready among us? Ready among us?
Yeah, baby. Oh, God. We're going to watch your intro? Fuck's sakes, Ash. The reptilian from Mars.
That was 1955.
You can skip past that.
I got it. I got you, buddy.
I was 3 or 4 months old. And they already had this plan for a false flag or a false INW threat from outer space.
Okay, look at that. Stephen Greer, it's a fucking threat, right? Ronald Reagan, bring us together. Stephen Greer. It's a threat.
Yes. The only way we can live together in peace is that if we're at war with someone else. I mean, this is, of course, batshit crazy, but we have something here that is what is called an acculturation process, where over many decades there have been leaders that have been convinced that we have a threat and that the solution to that threat or incursion from other civilizations is to militarize the relationship. Now, interestingly, the same people who benefit from, say, hoaxing the Gulf of Tonkin event in Vietnam, which stampeded President Johnson into escalating Vietnam into the quagmire it became, that cost trillions of dollars and hundreds of millions of lives, if you count Vietnamese and Southeast Asians as living humans, which they are.
Wait, what? What? Did this guy just say that people in other parts of the world are living human beings? Fuck you, Stephen Greer. I'm just kidding.
The famous weapons of
beings
mass
that need freedom.
Freedom.
Saddam Hussein had, which were to justify us going into Iraq, which gave us ISIS. It's all hoaxed. And so you have people who are continuously creating hoax scenarios And these are concocted in their research projects all the time, and they're put on a storyboard years, sometimes decades in advance. And the big one is the alien invasion one. And so through the UFO subculture, Hollywood, the media, and the internet, there has been a very well-funded and clever disinformation and counterintelligence operation that was launched in the 50s to convince people of what you just heard General Douglas MacArthur and Ronald Reagan decades later say was necessary. So then the question, you have to then take everything you ever read and everything you've ever seen and go, was it real or was it Memorex, as they used to say in the commercials? You know, is it real or was it something that was made up for its psychological warfare value? And I'm quoting.
Okay, psychological warfare value. Let's stop it right there. We'll play the rest of this because, well, this is actually really good quality shit, Ash. I'm impressed. Very nice. So we'll play the rest of this. So this is not for public consumption just yet. You guys are getting a sneak preview of what's to come on Ash's channel. So do follow him. We'll get a link up in a sec. And this is the type of stuff, right? Like again, I'm not the guy with the answers. I'm the guy with questions, right? That's why we're here. We're talking about these things. We're asking questions together. We're trying to put things together and maybe make sense of things. Well, Dr. Stephen Greer, right? Tom DeLonge. Like these are some of the tops in the UFO game right now. Well, they apparently had a falling out and some other weirdness. So I don't know. Go ahead, Ash. Before I fall out of my chair.
just start shaking your fist at, to the point where it starts defying gravity and start taking off.
No. If you hit me with enough terahertz, I will lift my ass out of this chair. I will lift my ass out of this chair. I may hit the fan. I may hit the fan above me. No, but look, that's what I'm saying. It's okay. And I know everybody's fine with me because we're folks. We're family. It's okay. It's fine. You can know when I'm irritated. I'm irritated because Tom DeLonge irritates me. But here we go. We're on to Stephen Greer and Ronald Reagan and some other shit. So tell us all about this.
I couldn't. Going into this subject, I had to take a little Stephen Greer and put it in there, and I could have just played all of what he says. He makes a lot of good points, but I tried to like splice it in with all these movies, right? We've had all these alien invasion movies, and from what we learned with like Project Stargate, the CIA uses the Hollywood to indoctrinate us with ideas, right? And they've been inundating us with alien invasion movies for forever. And have we been prepared for what's coming? And now, so it's like, okay, sure, whatever, bro. But if you look at like the narrative, it's kind of all coming true, right? The aliens are bad guys and they're fighting the aliens and they need help. They need funding to fight these aliens. So I was just trying to, I'm just trying to like make some points, put together a little argument just to make your head tilt a little bit and go, huh. And, like Mike says, we don't have the answers. We have questions. I don't know literally anything. I know nothing. I know a lot of stuff and nothing all at the same time. But I just want people to have the information so that when people try to trick us, guys, that we're ready to go, I don't fucking know, right? That's all I want. I don't fucking, because there's things that they would do, but they don't work because they wouldn't work on us. They'll literally test things. They'll like project stuff in the sky. They like feel us out to see if they can trick us on stuff. That's been proven. That happens. And so, an educated populace is a safer populace. It's a more prosperous thing. So anyway, I put together this episode, and I was like, all right, let me look up alien footage and just throw it in there while he's talking. And there's so much of it.
There's so much.
Like insane.
There's a lot. Stephen Greer, Dr. David Jacobs, like there's some people that are out there, right? And it's fine. Like this is the thing, right? So we're literally in the field of speculation. That's what we do. Like literally about all of it, right? About consciousness, about aliens, about the inner Earth or whatever, right? Like there's so many things that we're just speculating about. And so the shtick is it real or is it not? And it's not for me to decide or Ash to decide. Ultimately, it's for you to decide. And so just like Ash said, you put some stuff out there. The more things we know, the more prepared we are for when they try and use it against us, right? And I think it's important. I think that's why we're doing this show. I think definitely good shit. A couple of really good comments here. Bailey says, now check this out. And I concur with this, right? So given that maybe aliens are demons, right? And then demons are archons. Go back a couple episodes, you'll see what we're talking about. Bailey says this. Greer's new movie is teaching people how to conduct rituals to summon satanic demons, aka the archons, in the guise of UFOs. What if that's true? What if that is the truth and Tom DeLonge doesn't know what he's talking about? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many, like, actually, it does jive with Tom DeLonge actually a little bit. But what if Stephen Greer doesn't know what he's talking about and he's teaching people to summon demons? What the fuck? I'm telling you, the world we live in. Yeah. All right. We're going to play some more of your video. Want to preface the rest of this?
Well, that's basically where we're getting to. Aliens, whatever those beings, they're real. Like, they've done everything but say they're real. But who is the bad guys? It's one of three things. The government is bad, right? In that they're like manipulating between us and them. The aliens are bad, and the government is our protector. Or it's just a really complicated situation where the government's good and bad, and they're good and bad, right? It's only one of those three. And fuck, everyone's lying to us. So who knows?
Yeah, right. Or no. There's other possibilities here. Is that nobody really knows the answer, and we're all just like, we all have like 1/100th of the truth, right? So imagine if all the top people, let's say all the top minds on UFO Twitter, for example, as a like, let's say the top minds on UFO Twitter have like, between them 1/100th of the truth. You know what I mean? Sure, fine. There's still truth in there, but that means there's a lot of bullshit too. And that's the problem, right? Because we don't really know. Like the actual data is kept from us, and here we are again, speculating, doing a talk show. It's fine. We have fun doing it. Yeah, let's play the rest of this. I'm so triggered. I'm triggered that. Okay, now here's the problem. Let me explain to you why I'm triggered.
And I think our government is in cahoots with some aliens.
Like there's something. You think there's something actually going on here? Like
I mean,
some kind of
fuck. It might not even be that there's maybe they're fucking on the same team. Like that could be. That's another option, right? They're on the same team. Sorry, go ahead. I was just.
No, you're good. You're good. But the reason I'm triggered is because we haven't been able to do a show in like, I don't know, 10 days or 2 weeks. It's been a long ass time. And the last one we ended off with was Tom DeLonge, right? Part 1. And so I've been on tenterhooks and terrible internet and a shitty election cycle and just fucking garbage on top of garbage. And if you leave Tom DeLonge on my brain for 2 weeks, you see what you get.
That's true.
I just turn into a, knowing part 2 was coming, I've just turned into, I don't know, whatever negative term you want to call me, I will accept. Okay, let's play the rest of this. Yeah, I tell you what, I cannot wait to get to the next show when we don't have to talk about Tom DeLonge. Here we go. From Ash's channel, the rest of this, we got, I'm not going to tell you. Let's just watch.
From a CIA document from 1953. To what extent have we been deceived?
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. I love that scene. I love that scene.
So you're looking at it through this weird infrared video where it doesn't necessarily look, it's weird. It's weird. You're looking at it, you're like, okay, what am I looking at? I'm looking at a little object.
Do you remember that quote? It could be a total bullshit quote from Werner von Braun that he said right before he died that beware of the fake alien invasion.
Did he say that?
In so many.
Yes, he did say that.
When I was a corporate manager of Fairchild Industries in 1974 through 77, I met the late Dr. Werner von Braun in early 74. At that time, von Braun was dying of cancer, but he assured me that he would live a few more years in order to tell me about the game that was being played, that game being the effort to weaponize space, to control the Earth from space and space itself. Von Braun's purpose in life during the last years of his life, his dying years, was to educate the public and decision makers about why space-based weapons are a dumb, dangerous, destabilizing, too costly, unnecessary, unworkable, undesirable idea. The strategy that Werner von Braun taught me was that first the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, when I met him in 74, they were the enemy, the identified enemy. We were told that they had killer satellites. We were told that they were coming to get us and control us, the dirty commies, that whole story. First, the Russians were the enemy against whom we're going to build space-based weapons. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. We heard a lot about terrorism. Then we were going to identify third world country crazies. We now call them nations of concern. But he said that would be the third enemy against whom we would be needing to build space-based weapons. And the next enemy was asteroids. Now, at this point, he kind of chuckled the first time he said it. Asteroids, against asteroids, we're going to build space-based weapons. So,
yeah, there you go. Right, randomly floating things in space we're building weapons against. China has killer satellites. We have the government. Our government in the United States has admitted directed energy weapons. Yeah, well, we're gonna fight off them asteroids, aren't we? We're gonna kill the shit out of those asteroids.
Welcome to Earth, asteroid.
Welcome to Earth, asteroid. Take that. Oh god.
No, and then they're talking about this asteroid that's supposed to be here by 2040 something, right?
Apophis.
That's gonna be
Apophis is the name. Yep.
Look at that, right on schedule.
Yeah, actually, Apophis is in the news. I didn't pull those articles up, but Apophis is in the news this week because they said that it's sublimating. So it gets close enough to the sun where the ice on it melts, and then the ice melt actually gives it velocity. So the orbit that we know that it was on is now different because of the sublimation that's happening from the ice melting, right? Because you're like in a vacuum of space. Let's say you're still and there's nothing going on. You're not moving. There's no actual anything. But then the sun hits you and your ice starts to melt. Now, okay, with no movement, the ice melts. Now the actual sublimation, they call it, starts to propel you because space has no friction, okay? So just a very tiny ice melt can start to move you from a stationary object in space. And that's what's happening with Apophis. Of course, it's not stationary, it's moving, but now it's sublimating. And so you can't actually think about it. From a computer perspective, how can you literally take to the, I don't know, to the dewdrop of sublimation to actually predict where Apophis is going to be in 2040? So basically they're saying we don't really fucking know, but it's close enough where we should be worried, right? Anyway, sorry. As I tangent, go ahead, sir. Let's finish this up.
No, that's great. You know about it. See, Mike, you know all this stuff. You're like Joe Rogan. You know all this stuff.
I'm like the dummy that knows all the things. Perfect.
You're like a Google search engine.
Yeah, right. Because I've done shows on all these things. That's why. Apophis. It's all there. Okay. So anyway, let's finish this up. Let's play the last couple minutes of Ash's video. Ash, the reptilian from Mars. Follow the channel. Give me a link, Ash, to that channel. I'll put it in the chat. We're gonna watch the rest of this, and then we'll finish this up. And what's actually going on here? I think that's the real question. What's really happening with the world we live in, and with whatever else, the election cycle? Fuck. Oh my god. Like just when you think 2020 can't get any worse, we have two candidates like, yep, I just won. All right, here we go, action.
it was funny then. And the funniest one of all was against what he called aliens, extraterrestrials. That would be the final card. And over and over and over during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving his speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens, and all of it, he said, is a lie. He didn't mention a timeline, but he said that it was going to be speeding up faster than anybody could possibly imagine, that the effort to put weapons in space was not only based on a lie, but would accelerate past the point of people even understanding it until it was already up there and too late. In 1977, I was at a meeting in Fairchild Industries in a conference room called the War Room. This is 1977, and they were talking about creating a war in the Gulf region when there was $25 billion in the space-based weapons program that yet had not been identified. It wasn't called the Strategic Defense Initiative, at least, until 1983. This weapons system then had obviously been going on for some time that I didn't know anything about. So I stood up in this meeting in 1977 and it said, I'd like to know why we're talking about space-based weapons against these enemies. I'd like to know more about this. Would somebody tell me what this is about? Nobody answered. They went on with this meeting as though I hadn't said anything.
That clip was from the Disclosure Project by Dr. Carl.
Whoops, that's it.
Okay, that's it. Kill it. All right, kill it. Stop. Nobody needs to see that. Millie says, "Does this sound like a muumua?" That the stipulation was it that it was intelligent. Why then are you saying or perceiving what she said was hocus pocus? I'm not. Actually, I'm not. I'm saying that these are the things that we're allowed to see, right? Like it's again. So it's like you get behind the curtain type of situation. And so Oumuamua was one of those situations, right? Like, is it possible and probable even that they hid some data from us? Notice that actually we did a lot of shows right around the time Oumuamua was happening, right? What's his name? With the mechanical voice, Stephen Hawking. So he actually, before he passed away, they spotted Oumuamua coming towards us, and he made some really predictive comments about how important this situation might be, and then he passed away, unfortunately. And so we did a lot of talking about this, and so not only that we have in viewing Oumuamua and Apophis and so these other things that I was talking about, is that as people, right, we don't have I don't have at my disposal, nor do you, or anybody listening to this, a telescope in orbit that can actually get the real data on this, nor a mathematical computer that can really sort out where this shit's going. So I'm not saying that it's fake. I'm saying that we get half the information. And so we're working with half the information half the time. And you see it's a problem. It ends up becoming a huge problem. So, I mean, yeah. So back to that. Do you think there's a fake alien invasion to take the rights away? You know what I mean? I think that's literally like the end game. When shit really hits the fan, if they can convince us that aliens are landing, like everything government goes out the window, right? Like literally everything goes out the window except for protecting yourself and your family and your own block. You know what I mean? Like the world becomes so small in segments, and I think that's what they want, right? I think eventually that's what they want, because once you've segmented the world, then you can take it over one segment at a time, right? Yeah. I think that's what we're talking about. So it's not about like shitting on these people that are, whistleblowers, or because I think that was Donna Hare, right? Hare is her name. I think, so there's a lot of people that have, whether you believe them or not, that are kind of putting some stuff out there that said they work for NASA and some other things. So I'm not shitting on that. I'm just saying that, like, basically when you group it all together and you do your best to identity politic and division and whatever it is for us to hate each other, and then you segment it up to blocks or households, think about how easy that is to take everything over. Yeah. So anyway, all right.
And then all the wars and all the things that they've done, it wasn't them. It was the others. The others.
Which we started with, right? Isn't that what Tom DeLonge said? They're called the others, right?
Mm-hmm. Give us the money and we'll go fix it for you. Just wait right here. And what's convenient about an enemy like this is you can't do shit against it. You can't do anything. You're helpless. You need them, right? They're your only hope. But if this was true, if there was an adversary of this scale, then what keeps them from just GGing, right? From ending the fight? Like, if I'm have a planet and I control it and I'm an advanced civilization, if I see that civilization is scaling too quickly and it could potentially be a threat, you gotta do, you try your best to like be peaceful with them and as a society, but if they're gonna like grow up and kill you, like you just cause a flood real quick or something, right? Like it just makes a lot of sense. So so if
reset great reset.
Our military is doing all this shit. We don't know how they're handling this relationship with these beings. We don't know if they're justified or whatever. They could literally be like forcing aliens to kill us all, to like reset our civilization. See, this is what I'm saying. We don't know. I don't know if Tom DeLonge's speaking the truth, what is true, what isn't. We don't have the information we need to like make those calls and those judgments. And without that information, it's impossible to form a correct opinion. And so, I promise you this: whatever they come out with, there's lies in it. It has to be, but I also believe there's some truth in it too. So, I guess that's kind of like the finale for the Tom DeLonge thing. I mean, what else do we have to go off of? We can listen to leakers, we can chase the leads, but at the end of the day, the general people, they kind of want from an official source. Look at this election. If they're like, if something happens, I'm literally seeing it validated and debunked within the hour, and then the news reports on it, and then that side reports on it. I'm literally just not even. I don't believe anything. I'm just waiting because, like, maybe
the fact check,
maybe reality will settle. Yeah, right. So
Stokes fact check.
Right. So, like you said, CNN and Fox News and all these channels, the mainstream hasn't called the election. It's funny. We're all waiting for them to tell us when it is.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly. But that's the point, right?
Right.
So like the obvious thing is this shit is broke as fuck. And like somebody's going to need to go in there with fucking hard elbows and fucking stomping on necks and figure out what the fuck happened. That's the reality of this. But what they're trying to massage into our brains is, oh, if you turn on this channel, this guy won. If you turn on that channel, that guy won. That's what's fucking going on. And it's the same thing, right? It's the exact same thing. If you're talking about an alien menace, Tom DeLonge says they're a fucking threat. Tom DeLonge says they're coming after us. Tom DeLonge has basically equated the Gnostic version of archons and negativity. And so us as people, what are we supposed to do? Right? We get shit information half the time, and then the rest of the time we're supposed to try and figure something out. And here we are. I don't fucking know. Listen, if you're looking for answers, don't fucking come to me because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I swear I don't. But I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get the data and trying to learn and what's actually going on here. But it's so fragmented, it's disgusting. So yeah. Anyway,
it literally, dude, it could be aliens are like super nice and they don't even understand war anymore, and they're like setting up requirements before we can join the Galactic Federation, or you know what I mean, like the Galactic Neighborhood. You have to be peaceful and do this and that, and then you could join us. And we're like, yeah, sure.
We fuck off,
you guys.
Check out my AK-47, bitch.
Yeah, they don't give a shit how this planet's managed, and so these sociopaths at the top like can do whatever they want, and then that's what I'm saying. Like we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Hey, Mike.
Know. Yeah, no,
you don't know.
All right. So go ahead with the I don't know. I'm gonna play some outro music. Don't worry, guys. We're a little disjointed. We've been out of sorts. All the internationals out there know that America's been run through the blender this past week or so because of all the bullshit. Because literally the illusion that that we've been holding on to, right? For the people that still believe the illusion, it just got broken over a knee and thrown into the fireplace. So you'll understand the frazzled nerves. Not for ourselves, because we understand this has always been the case. But we have a lot of family. We have a lot of friends. We have a lot of people around us that are freaking the fuck out. And guess what that does to you? It frays your nerves. And so, well, please accept my apologies as we finish this up. Call in, Joe. The show doesn't start till Joe calls in. It's too fucking late. It's too fucking late.
No, if he calls in, then we got to keep going, dude.
That's fine. I'm playing some outro music. Go ahead and call Joe. If you call Joe, I'm going to kill the outro music and we'll do it again. Go ahead, Ash. You're first.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. As we kind of navigate these crazy things, right? And this is, like Mike says, it's a conversation, right? We're here. We're at the. You can't go to your friend at work or your family members and talk about this crazy stuff because they don't want you to talk about this stuff. Well, you could talk about it here. You're safe. We can talk about all this crazy stuff. We're not going to let the man keep us down. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for listening to all this crazy stuff and exploring it with us. We had some good viewership. A lot of people stayed. Really appreciate that. Check out my YouTube channel. But first, follow and love Mike first, because that's where we're at. And thanks again for having me on. I appreciate it. I love all you guys. And I hope you guys have a really good night.
You're getting really good, Ash. I'm getting jealous. You're really good, man. Somebody said you got a nice voice tonight. I'm about to rage and just break this fucker over my knee. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for hanging out with us. You especially, Ash. See what I did there? Special thanks for skipping through 3 or 4 broken shows in the last week. But a lot of time goes into this, a lot of love. We'll be back Tuesday doing the same thing, talking about different things, or maybe some similar shit. Who knows? The upside down. It never ends, does it? You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging with us. We know it's a long show. We don't have a TikTok level attention span audience here. We know you guys are a little more cerebral than that. And hopefully we're coming through for you. I'm going to shake it out. Don't worry. This election doldrums, the full moon, fog in my brain, whatever's going on, we'll be back on Tuesday. And you know what to look for. Tell everybody about us, please. TroubledMinds.org. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with Ash, the reptilian from Mars. Thanks for hanging out. You guys are all the best. Leave us a review on iTunes. We got some MFers shitting on us over there. Right? Those TikTokers show up for 30 seconds and fuck off and leave us a bad review. We need you. Please, help. Help, we're drowning. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for laughing with us. Thanks for laughing with us. Oh boy, I tell you what. You guys are the best. At the end of it, I'm Michael Strange. Ash here, the reptilian from Mars. Thanks for listening. From our troubled minds to yours. We'll see you Tuesday. Have a great night.
Good night, y'all.